And hello guys, Robert1 here, coming at you with my team Black Rose Dragons. If people want to introduce themselves, they can introduce themselves. Oh wait, one second, got all to that. There we go, talk.
I am a human being.
He is in fact a human being.
Alright, I'll go then. What's up, guys? It's Jetix Chaos. Haven't been on a TV or a live stream or YouTube in a while, so wish me back. Welcome me back.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
You want to introduce yourself, Canley?
Hello.
He is also a human being.
Hi, this is Kat or Miss Diva.
Alright. So we got the Barbarian, we got the Sweet Cat, we got the Human, and we got Gen X. Today we're basically going to be doing some deck theory on the Dragma deck that will be coming out, I believe it is the end of this month or the start of next month. This is basically going to be a podcast sort of video where we're going to look at the deck, we're going to talk about stuff that we can put into it, and we're all going to go ahead and see what we can try to make it the best we can. We should have some others joining us in and out because of obviously time scheduling and stuff as we go along. But yeah, and also guys, whoever's watching this right now, can you please go check out the Team Black Rose Dragon Facebook page, actual website, and I believe we have a YouTube now, don't we?
Yeah, the YouTube is starting now, and we also have Instagram.
All right,
Yay.
so go check out
Just
all
check out the
those.
affiliate
I'll have
links.
some links in the description, mainly to the Facebook and the website. Most likely to the team YouTube as well. I don't know if I can get the Instagram one because I don't have Instagram. But
I'll help you with that one.
we'll.
We have Twitter as well, Robert.
Oh, we have Twitter as well. We got everything apparently. Just type out Team Black Rose Dragons and find us, please. We're a new team and we're still trying to get all the bearings. We're going big and we're going to get strong. But anyway, without further ado, let's actually get into this, talking about how we're going to be building Dragma, what we're going to be doing with the deck, and everything along those lines. So, first of all, does anybody actually know what Dragma does?
I don't.
I believe it's a good deck where you can play the fusion monster and just insult your opponent. Isn't that correct? Just at the bastard across the table from you.
I know a little bit about it. It's basically the monsters have quick effects, so that when a monster is summoned from the extra deck, they all get effects which summon them from the hand, and then have other effects which basically interact with your opponent, as they are quick effects.
Close.
Right.
They don't actually have. Only one of them actually has a quick effect. Pretty much what the deck revolves around is, it revolves around the small level 4 Dragma monsters themselves, which is Iron Hammer, Saint, Dragma Saint, and also Oracle, and also kind of relies on the bigger ones as well. But what this deck kind of revolves around is not touching its own extra deck, and more so relying on having extra deck monsters on the board, so you can spam them out from your hand. They're not actually quick effects to summon from the hand when a monster is summoned from the extra deck. They're just a hard effect that says if there is an extra deck monster on the board, you can special summon them from the hand. Now, only 3 of them have this effect, which is Hammer, Saint, and Oracle. These 3 monsters are the primary Dragma monsters that you're going to be that we're going to probably be looking at here, and they all have different effects. But you also have the bigger monsters as well, such as Maximus. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name, but Knight, and the Cardinal right here, which also can be summoned through various ways. Cardinal special summons itself by banishing extra deck monsters from the graveyard, depending on the types, and it also. Dragman and Maximus also has the same effect, where you can banish a Fusion Synchro, Xyz, or Link from your graveyard, and then special summon it from the hand. We also have Knight, which also doesn't have the same conditions to summon of it itself by these means, but the deck. But what it does do is, if there is a monster on the board, it can special summon a monster from the extra deck on the board. You can special summon itself from the hand, and also if you control a Dragma, it also actually allows you to negate a face-up card monster on the field. So. The primary monsters of the deck are these 6, and they are primarily due to all summoning conditions based around extra deck monsters. So that's their primary summoning conditions. The deck also has they also all have very different effects as well, such as Oracle, when it's destroyed by battle, summons a Dragma from the deck. Saint, when it's special summoned, it adds a Dragma card from the deck to the hand. Hammer, it can target a face-up extra deck monster on the board, and it gains 600 attack, and the opponent's monster loses 600 attack. Maximus sends 2 extra deck cards from each player's extra deck to the graveyard, but each player chooses the extra deck cards that go to the graveyard. I already explained Knight, and other than its effect that when a Dragma monster attacks, all Dragma monsters gain 500 attack, and also Cardinal, if this card, sorry, I'm refreshing myself as we go along because it's been a while since I've actually read this one. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles a special summon monster, destroys as many opponent's attack position monsters as possible, then inflict 800 damage to your opponent for each Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, or Link monster destroyed by this, and they have to be special summon monsters. So that's the primary Dragma monsters, what they do. And also, I will say this now, all of them pretty much all of them lock you out from the X deck as well. This deck is not a deck that focuses too heavily on the X deck. It more focuses on having like a single X deck monster so it can spam out.
This is gonna sound silly, but it feels like a shady Monarch deck.
No, it's nothing like
without
Monarch.
the tribute.
No, it's nothing like Monarch.
Yeah.
It doesn't lock the opponent out from special summoning. It more so focuses on the fact that there's an extra deck monster on the board, so it can or in the graveyard, so it can actually play cards, play your cards on the board, so you can go even further in the deck. All the spells.
So you can use stuff like Instant Fusion, for example, to get an extra deck monster on the field, and then spam monsters.
Yes.
Out from your hand.
It's kind of that idea. It also has 2 spells and 2 traps, which are very unique to themselves. Whereas the Disciples of Nadir, Fafa Cinque, is a normal spell card that is actually a searcher for the deck. You send 1 extra deck monster from your deck to your extra deck to the graveyard, and then you can add 1 Dragma monster or Nullius Filius of Albus from your deck or graveyard to your hand, with less attack than the monster sent to the graveyard. But when you activate this card, you are then locked out of the extra deck completely, so you kind of got to be careful with that as well. We also have a field spell, which is Dogmatic Nation Dragma, which says neither player can target Dragma monsters you control with card effects or monster effects that were special summoned from the extra deck. You can only use the following effects of Dragma, the country of conviction, once per turn. So they've changed the name, obviously, and it's just not updated here. It's got 2 effects based on this as well. After damage calculation, if your Dragma monster battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy that opponent's monster. If this face-up card in the field zone is destroyed by card effect, you can activate this effect. Each player sends 1 monster from their extra deck to the graveyard. So the field spell isn't one of the better cards in the deck, but it does kind of have protection for your Dragma monsters. And also, if any of your Dragma monsters do battle, you can destroy the opponent's monster as well, which is kind of nice in its own right as well. And then the trap cards are also kind of unique as well, where they're not, both of them aren't unique, but the first one, Dragma Encounter, you can only activate 1 of its effects, and you can only activate 1 of its per turn. Special summon 1 Dragma monster or 1 Nullius Filius of Albus from your hand, or you can take 1 Dragma monster or 1 of Nullius Filius from your graveyard and either add it to your hand or special summon it. So this is kind of like a Call of the Haunted as well, or just a free special summon from your hand. And then the final trap card in the deck is Dragma Punishment, that says you can target 1 monster your opponent controls, send 1 monster from your extra deck to the graveyard with equal or higher attack, and if you do, destroy the targeted monster. And also, until the end of your next turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. So it kind of locks you out until the next turn, which is kind of really bad in that fact. But the fact that it's disruption as well is kind of really good at the same time. So those are all the real Dragma cards outside of Albus and also the Bastard Dragon himself. Any ideas so far?
No, man, all good.
Alright. Looking at the other two cards, which are obviously incorporated with the archetype, Albus is essentially a super polymerization. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can discard one card and fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using this card on the field and monsters your opponent controls as fusion materials. So pretty much this is just a free super polymerization as long as you use Albus himself, which is kind of good as well because of the fact that even though you have to use him and it kind of locks you out of other things, you can still use him for like Starving Venom, the free material fusion, Predaplant monster, Predaplant, the level 7 one that takes a dark and a fusion. So it's got that as well. And we also have a Bastard as well, which literally which takes one Nihilus Filius or one monster with 2,500 or more attack points. Its effects are gain attack equal to the combined original attack of the monsters of the materials used for its fusion summon x 100. So essentially, use a level 8, use a level 4, which is Albus. That's an additional 1,200 attack. After this fusion summon card for the After this card is fusion summoned for the rest of this turn, it is unaffected by the activated effects of other monsters that were special summoned from the extra deck. And during the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can take one Dragma monster or one Nihilus Albus from your deck and either add it to your hand or special summon it. So pretty much this card says if it's in the graveyard at the end phase, you get to search or a free summon from your deck. So that's like the whole archetype. Is there any faults?
Yeah, I had a couple of thoughts. Obviously, if you, like I said earlier, if you're looking to get extra deck monsters filled, you can play instant fusion with it as one option, or you could run Dragma as an engine with, say, maybe another engine, like something like Invoked, or even you could run a ritual variant of the deck as well, maybe something like Necroz. So it's quite a versatile archetype in the sense that it can either stand alone or be mixed in with other archetypes.
Actually, I think it works. It might work good with Megalith cards.
That's
Possibly.
interesting, though.
Because Megalith cards don't really rely on the extra deck much, and since this deck kind of locks you out of the extra deck as it is, they might work well.
Alright. So, Megalith, we also said Necroz.
I mean, you could tech Cyberdark Claw to send it.
What was that? Sorry, James? James? Couldn't hear you properly.
You can tech Cyberdark Claw to send a monster for the
Yeah, that's true as well.
the drag. I mean, it's not great.
No, probably.
You got stuff like Zarborg the Mega Monarch as well.
You see, the problem with using Cyberdark Core, James, is it needs to be equipped.
Yeah, I know. That's that.
And it wouldn't work that way, would it?
Yeah. You three talk amongst yourselves for a second. Of course, I said that I needed to get my food, so I'll be just 2 minutes. Back in just a minute.
How dare this host leave us like that? I have to admit though, you're right about one thing, Kat. It would be a great standalone deck.
I just think obviously I think the deck can only swarm if there's an extra deck monster on the field. So you kind of, but thinking about it, because it's got the power of its own walking super polymerization, you can basically play 6 super polys. Because you've got the monster, which is a super poly, and you can play 3 super polys as well. So I personally think it's going to be a going second deck.
I could see it as a potential OTK. In my honest opinion, I see it as a potential OTK deck.
Yeah, you could use Anaconda as well. Go into Anaconda, then use all the stuff after copying the fusion spell with it. So
that's true, yeah, because it's like a copy of the chain, isn't it?
Yeah, so what you do is you use Super Poly, you summon that monster, and then you use all your dragons.
Exactly, yeah.
So you could use dangers to get to that point, or free summon.
Another thing I can say, it could work with Mech Knights.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Kat said invoked. and then I thought maybe Mech Knights even.
Basically, any engine that gives you monsters on a board without really needing a normal summon, it could probably be used with, which would summon, from the extra deck. And then obviously you've got your Dragma engine there, which would just go off. Obviously Rob said there was I think one of the cards has a quick effect, so you have got interaction on your opponent's turn as well. And just the whole side of it being that it swarms the field if there is an extra deck monster. It made me think about rituals, because of the effect to send extra deck monsters to the graveyard. Yes,
But is that really ritual? Is that really rituals, or is it more of the Herald engine? The Herald combo?
Yeah, well, that exactly what I was going to say. It's like Herald of Arclight. So you would search your ritual pieces, and then you can use the Dragma monsters.
Are you lot discussing right now rituals?
So, actually, so what you could say is probably maybe the incantation engine with the Herald stuff. With
is a possible engine.
Yeah, and a spine of this deck, for example.
Just an idea. For those suggesting Herald of Arclight with rituals, something that's really good is.
Sorry, Robert?
Yes.
Sorry to ask, Robert, but can you repeat the quick effect monster?
The quick effect monster, Floridelis. During the main phase, if a monster that was special from the extra deck is on the field, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then if you control another Dragma monster, you can negate the effect of one face-up monster on the field until the end of this turn. When your Dragma monster declares an attack, you can make all Dragma monsters you currently control gain 500 attack.
It's like fair hire.
Yeah, I was gonna say you took the word right out of my mouth. I was gonna say it's kind of like that, yeah. Also, I was gonna say, there's a potential chain blocking with this deck.
Yeah.
There's potential chain blocking with this deck. So let's just say you've already got your fusion out, right? The quick effect isn't when the fusion monster is summoned; it's just whenever. So it's basically as long as the fusion monster's out, it's possible to quick effect activate its effect. Is that not correct?
The thing is, though, that won't chain block.
No, but what I'm saying is, not chain block, but it's a free negate.
Flair's effects would stop them.
Yeah, so for example, if someone said, I'm going to, I don't know, summon activate this, you can just say, hold on, quick effect. I don't think so.
That is true. It's basically an infinite impermanence in that sense, where if you control a Dragma, you pretty much can stop whatever you want.
But that's the thing, most likely you will go into the fusion monster.
Also, just a thing, if you're looking to go into rituals, a good idea would be Despot 003 with Despot 001 and Auroradon and Needle Fiber. Because what it essentially allows you to do is go into multiple Heralds in one turn, get more Necros cards, and if you can get to the Dragon stuff as well, it gives you more advantage there.
Well, you've got the search card, haven't you, to help you add the Dragmas from your deck. And you've also got the one that you were saying summons from the deck itself as well. So
yeah,
that's one way.
The one that summons from the deck is the Asian Dragon, also bastard.
Yeah.
If he's in the graveyard during the end phase, then his effect can trigger to summon a Dragma from the deck.
So
that kind of sets up for your opponent's turn as well, because it means you have another Dragma on the field for Fleur to then be able to go and summon itself and negate your opponent's key cards in their combo.
So in that case, I agree actually. So, but here's the thing. So it's a good. So I can say it's a good going second deck, but as going first, it can go as a setup, and then it has the potential to interrupt its opponent. Unlike some other OTK decks that go second, don't really have a good first turn and can get pretty much destroyed on their second turn when their opponent pops off of their combos. Whereas this one, it has some kind of form of interruption or negation.
Okay.
Not great interruption.
So
It's not great, but it's something. And plus, like we said, if we're playing other things, maybe Necroz or something on top of that. Going first with Necroz engine's not that bad either.
So what route do we think we want to go down? Because personally, the way that I've chosen to go in the past was the invoked route. Because I personally felt being able to just summon Alistair, and then go or add Magical Meltdown, add Alistair, go into the 2 link monsters, then make Mechaba, and then just be able to special summon your Dragma monsters was very strong. But if we want to go a different route and try maybe the Megaliths or try the Necros, then we might want to try and go a slightly different route there as well, where we play like Despots as well, with Needle Fiber and Auroradon, focus less on the extra deck destruction, stuff like that.
Another archetype I suggested while you were away was possibly Mech Knights because of invoked Mech Knights as well.
Dragma invoke Mech Knight.
Possibly.
I thought this deck would honestly just be better as the Steal Your Girl deck. Just play like Mind Control, all the steal your opponent's cards, and then use that go into the extra deck, and then use the Predaplant monster to tech the Super Poly twice basically.
That's actually a nice. Yeah, that's
It's
actually not a bad way
just
to
a
play.
It's just a free board clear each time. You could tech like a bunch of going second cards, like we said, to make it break a board deck. Because I feel like it's stronger. You'd have to play like other little engines in it.
Actually, Instant Fusion for free on this deck would not be bad as well, technically speaking.
We can't play Instant Fusion
Yeah.
at 3, it is at 1.
Obviously.
If you want to see how Dragma's played, go to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Text channel. I've just posted a video that YugiTube done with Dragma invoked. It's worth a watch.
I'll probably look at that, yeah.
I don't think we should be looking at a video though right now, for the pure fact we're trying to build this ourselves.
Yeah, I'd rather we build it first before we get ideas from another place. See what we can come up with.
Because that's like the whole idea of this deck building strategy meeting thing.
Yeah, but if you want to work out how the cards work, it's always better to look at something first.
I mean, I can tell you how the cards work. I'm a judge. Just ask.
Well,
Yeah,
here's my question. Why don't we talk about ratios of each card?
Well, in my personal opinion,
Yeah.
if we're going ratios, the only cards I see worth playing in the Dragma deck are obviously Ancient Dragon. I feel like it's a solid 1 to 2. Free Saint is necessary. Free Knight I would definitely play. Maybe 2 to 3 Maximus, I'm not too sure of that. And free Disciple of Nadir. But the rest, I don't really see too much going in. Like, maybe Dragma Punishment, because it's a destruction card, and has interaction. But outside of the rest of the cards in the archetype, I personally don't think they need to be played. What's your
Yeah,
thought?
I don't agree with the encounter. I don't see encounter being something that's going to be played much. I think yeah, no, I don't think Dragma encounter would be played as much, especially not at 3. Definitely not at 3.
The issue with the card
Maybe
is that
one.
it's a trap.
Say again?
The biggest issue with the card is that it's a trap.
Yeah, exactly. If it was like a quick play spell card or something stupid like that.
It'll be a lot better.
So we don't think the field spell's important.
Honestly, no, in my opinion.
No, not in my opinion. Definitely not.
Because the field spell doesn't really do anything
Well, that
to
would-
help the deck.
That would lend more to playing in the invoke then, because it wouldn't conflict with Magical Meltdown.
Exactly. And I don't see the field spell doing anything that will push the deck forward in a turn In fact, I see it more as not a brick, but more as a that's not the card you want to draw in because it's not going to get you anywhere after, even if you play it or you have the access to play it. I don't see, you know, the damage calculation being much of an issue, especially if the fact that you're potentially going to destroy the entire board, because it does destroy all your opponent's special summon monsters or whatever it was. The field spell's not going to be doing much anyway.
If
Because
you wanted to play if you wanted to play a pure control version of the deck, you could play something like Secret Village because they're all spellcasters.
Exactly.
But the question with that is, how many other spellcaster decks are currently in the game?
Altergeist, and that's about it.
Shadows, Invoked.
Yeah, well, Alistair's really. I mean, you could play like this deck with, what you call it, Shadow.
That could also be an
that's
option.
possible. I just noticed. Go on, sorry, Kat.
I was going to say that'd be quite an interesting option because obviously it would give you easy access to construct.
Oh yeah.
Now, one thing with that though,
Ledge.
is we would have to focus on more of a going second build. If you think about it.
Another thing I was going to say about the spell, the field spell, I just noticed it now. Is the first effect. As an opponent, if I were to see that field spell on the board, I wouldn't see it as a threat. It's a threat to destroy. Whereas if I were to destroy it, then it becomes a threat. So I'll just leave it on the field. So no, as a player using the deck, they wouldn't see the effect of the first effect going off much as well. So that's another reason I wouldn't want to play that field spell.
So we're just full on off the field spell?
I agree. I don't see the appeal of the field spell at all.
Yeah.
To be honest.
So we're not playing the field
anything
spell.
to the engine of the deck.
We're not playing Encounter. What about the other monsters? Are we gonna consider playing any? What monsters are we not gonna play, and what are we gonna play?
Well, no, I go on. Sorry.
There you go.
No. You go ahead. I'd rather hear you lot speak over my own voice.
I was kind of sort of saying that obviously for summon ability it might be easier to play more of the lower level monsters, the level 4s, just if you need a normal summon, and just sort of, I don't know. Sorry, I'm looking at the screen, a very small version of it.
Well, I put 3 more of
So you didn't-
each little Dragma.
Not think.
Really play. You can play. Yeah, I agree with Kat. Playing the level 4s. You can
Now
probably.
where you've got a toolbox there of XYZs for level 4 as well. So.
Yeah, get the Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon out.
Hey,
Utopia Lightning package.
You play rank up magic to go into the.
The issue with that is, you gotta remember, a lot of these lock you out of the extra deck.
I know,
Oh
it's like you
yeah,
do
he's got a
something
point. I
first,
forgot about that.
Yeah, you always do things first and then you do it.
Yeah,
why-
he's got a point.
Like, the
That's
most
why I would
important
suggest
one...
Playing the Predaplan.
what Predaplant?
So here's my question, because you say a lot of it locks you out of the deck. Is that locking you out of the deck after they've been summoned, or is it if you've already summoned from the extra deck, you can't use their effects anymore?
No, if you've already summoned from the extra deck, you can still utilize their effects.
Okay.
It just changes to where you want to, if you can use an effect, such as, for instance, excuse me, you can use like summon Hammer, and I believe Oracle without any repercussions on your extra deck. But the most important one, Saint, literally says if it wants to use this effect, you can't special summon from your extra deck for the rest of this turn. And she's the one that's going to be getting you to your trap card, Dragma Punishment, your Dragma Knight. It's going to be getting you to the most important things.
Right. So then it's like what James said. It's best to run an extra deck engine like Predaplants that go first before we do all of the Dragma stuff.
Yeah.
In that case, it might be better just to go for the Despot engine. Because the
Do you
Despot...
think so? Do you really think so?
Well, think of it this way. Despot engine gives us access to cards like Herald of Arclight, gives us access to the Ritual, gives us access to like Ritual engine if we want to play a Ritual engine. Gives us instant access into any extra deck monster. Like literally, you can play 1003 with an Almirage, and then a Needle Fiber and a Auroradon, so you can go into those engines. And even if you do get ashed or impermed on your Despot 003, you can still make the Almirage. You can still make the Almirage, giving you access into your extra deck monster, and then you can go off from there.
It's actually a good point.
Because say if your Predaplant
And
engine
plus
gets
for-
ashed or impermed, the Predaplant Cobra, or no, not Cobra, the Scorpion, is a 1200 attack point monster, so it's actually going to be, you won't be able to actually make a link 1 with that, stopping you from getting into your extra deck engine.
When we had Invoke Shadol, they were using Alistair to go into, what was it, Secure Gardener as a link monster.
Yes.
No, it was Almirage and Secure Gardener.
Yeah, sorry. My apologies. Almirage and then Secure Gardener. So that's another way of getting into your extra deck monster just through one normal summonable monster.
I'd say the invoked version would be a lot stronger.
To be fair, from what I've seen of the deck and the builds, Invoked is the strongest version by far. Especially when you can summon 2 Mechas going through King of All Calamities and tell your opponent no, you're not playing.
So are we going to
That's a little
focus
nasty
on?
one, actually. That sounds like, yeah.
Are we going to go ahead and focus on an invoked build then?
Yeah, Invoked is way too strong.
All right. So in that case,
Invo-
So we're
invoking-
all in agreement. Shall we go for an invoked build of the deck?
yes,
I
I personally feel like it's the strongest build.
Invoked is the strongest build by far, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Invoke makes any build great.
And then as soon as Dragoon comes out, it makes the deck even more stupid.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Dragoon.
I wish we could all forget about Dragoon.
All right.
This is what happens when you've been so out of touch. You just forget everything.
So
It's all good. Right, Rob, where are we starting?
So, obviously, we're starting off with the invoked cards. So we want to get
Okay.
all the invoked
Invoke
cards.
cards, 3 Alistair, 3 Magical Meltdown, and 2 or 3 Invocations. That's all you need.
And
we wanna
also
get the
3
three
copies of your
Alistair.
soul to give to the devil.
That's
Feel
for
like
the main. For the main anyway.
So, another thing though is, do we, of the big monsters and the little monsters, do we want to...
Two Mecha Birds, 1 Purgatrio.
Obvious engine stuff. But the question that I'm thinking of here is, do we really want to be playing all of the little monsters? Because remember, we've got if we want to make this good, or even tech in the Mech Knights, we're gonna have to choose to cut out some of these cards. And personally, I feel like we should be playing 3 of the Knight.
To be honest with you, I wouldn't take in Mech Knights on this. I'll just leave it pure Dragma Invoked.
Alright, so we're gonna just... So, does anyone want to try the Invoked or Mech Knight, or are we gonna just not play the Invoked?
No, I wouldn't play the Mech Knight unless if it was a Mech Knight Dragma deck, not a Mech Knight Invoke Dragma deck.
Okay.
The reason you play Invoked with Dragma because Dragma's all light, so it works very well with Mecha Bar.
Yeah, the Mech Knights in this case would not give any sustenance to the deck with the Invoke going on as well on top of that. You're more just striving to play. What I would see then when you're playing Mech Knight Invoked Dragma is, I'm just going to play Invoke Mech Knight combos instead, and the Dragma cards are just in my way at that point.
Well, it's not even that. You have to make sure there's 2 cards in the same column to even special summon the Mech Knight. Especially if
Exactly.
you're playing against someone like Adamantipator that doesn't really care about running spells and traps. You're pretty screwed.
Exactly.
Okay. So, this is what we're looking at. Now, here's something that I'm going to be honest with. Do we want to play Cardinal? 'Cause
No.
Cardinal, it's a big monster, but it doesn't really do anything.
It's a big monster that's very, very conditional. And personally, the effort it takes for Cardinal, you can just do something else with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's too much for what you get.
You could side it against Adamantipator,
Like,
because they will definitely have 4 fusion synchronic Seas and Orly.
They won't.
They wouldn't.
Not in the graveyard going first. They probably have like 2 or 3 tops.
the thing is though, with Maximus Dragma, this card actually does set up all 4 of them for Cardinal, and which is why to summon Cardinal. So that's kind of like the question of why I'm like, do we want to play it? Because we do have the option to get all 4 in the graveyard with Maximus.
Well, how many would you say play? Would you play at 1?
The thing is, if you're gonna, it's not. Is it searchable though? That's the thing. If it's not
Yes.
searchable, I probably wouldn't put it in.
It's
Yeah, especially if you're playing it at 1.
It's searchable through
Isn't
an
it
idea.
searchable through the spell?
If you send something with more than 3,200 attack, yes. It's also searchable through Saint, as well, and also Bastard Dragon.
I mean, you kind of answered your own question about playing it.
But is it yes or a no? Because obviously this is a going second card. But are we catering to go
I think with
first?
Invoke, you can go first or second, so it doesn't make it. But the
Yeah, I
Invoke
was
deck,
gonna
you can
say,
go first and second.
Yeah, I was gonna say with the Invoke, there's no need to worry about going second or first because you have the potential in both ways.
So are we yay or nay?
Like I said earlier, I just don't think if you're gonna play out 1, chances are you're gonna have to search for it, and then the effort to search for it and then to get it to your hand and then play it. It's only good if you're playing out 1. It's only good if you open with it. Is how I see it.
Okay. So I'm guessing that's a nay then.
The thing is, I like Maximus, but I just don't like its thing that you can't special summon from the extra deck rest of this turn.
That's all.
Which is, I think, the only one out of the lot that actually locks you out.
No, Saint also does, and so does the search spell. And the trap. So, I'm guessing that's a nay then?
So they pretty much got to be the last bits of the combo.
Yeah. Alright. So I'm guessing it's a nay, because of honestly, are we going to ever attack with it and destroy attack position monsters? Now, how many Maximus do we want to play?
The problem is with that, when you're looking at a deck like Adamantipator, yes, you can destroy their board, but unless you have the ability to OTK that turn, you're not going to win because they'll just come back and, banish monsters with Block Dragon and then start again. It's I don't know if it's using too many resources to.
No, all they do is go into Access Code Toolcar, put it on 4/3, which it can't be destroyed by card effects, and you got nothing big enough to beat over it, and then just pop your field next turn.
How's Access Coder not being... Oh, wait, IP. Never mind. Alright. So, how many Maximus are we actually going to play, though? Should we keep it at 1? Should we try to put it to 2? Or should we play the max at 3? Because
Maximus, play 2 max. Don't play no more.
Because the card is really strong for the fact that it gets to kind of get rid of cards in your opponent's extra deck. Obviously, you don't get to choose what cards go to the grave.
Yeah, but then you can't special summon from your extra deck. So
yes, but like with the invoke stuff, it's going to be the first thing we do. So we actually have the extra deck monster on the board already. So does it really matter if we can't special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn?
I just think 3's too much, but that's my opinion.
All right. Anyone else got an opinion on it? Anyone there?
Bear with me, Rob. We're going to try and bring it up on our desktop because I can't see your very small deck profile on the chat. Sorry.
You're using your phone, it's fine.
So, any thoughts on playing Instant Fusion
The thing with this
as a
division is,
starter?
it's not a bad idea.
As in using it as an open up, and
But what are we gonna play?
Just, I mean, you can go into anything like.
Like, what would we play with it? I'd assume we would have to play Thousand Eyes.
I was.
Yeah. Or Millennium, or what?
Thousand Eyes Restrict.
Thousand Eyes Restrict is not a bad call.
Yeah.
We could also play Millennium because Millennium is a good going first card for the fact that it just stops hand traps. So those are both options. So we could put both of those in for now and keep the Instant Fusion in, and put the Instant Fusion in. So that's kind of like an option there. The thing is though with Instant Fusion is because it's a one-off, and it kind of takes up extra space as well, which is like a one-off to take up extra space isn't the best. So is there any better options we could actually play for the extra deck?
I'd increase Mecha Blur from 2 to 3.
The more I look at this deck, the more I see how viable Mechaba really is in this.
I mean, we're going to want to play Anaconda, aren't we?
Yep.
Well, if we're playing the Dark Magician stuff, then yeah.
Still want to put in Super Poly as well, at least one copy of Super Poly.
Why one copy of Super Poly, may I ask?
Because I think because he's thinking you can copy the effect with Anaconda.
And also as well, you play one Starving Venom, and because the Dark decks still hang around.
So we're gonna go Anaconda with Starving and Super Poly.
Well, Red Eyes Fusion ain't out yet, so it's kind of like a substitute.
No.
What attribute?
I'm pretty
is
sure
it dark? Yeah.
it's all out at the same time. I'll actually just fact check that
No,
right
I think
now.
this is coming out slightly before Dragoon because Dragoon's coming in the Megatons. Yeah. This is out. I'm pretty sure this is out before then.
I'm literally looking it up now.
It'll be in the new.
Okay, so that comes out in August.
To be fair, I'd also put True King of all Calamities in the extra deck as well, because if you get 2 Mechabas up, it's very easy to get into.
But to be honest, Lee, if I had 2 Mechabas, I'd rather keep the 2 Mechabas than making it VFD. Like, if I've got 2 Mechabas, I'm gonna prefer to keep the 2 Mechabas.
Yeah, that's why we're playing 3.
Yeah, I know we're playing 3 for that reason, but it's just like out of the.
Yeah, but the thing is, what would you rather have? Just 2 normal negates, or True King just says no, you're not playing at all?
Yeah, but the thing is, VFD doesn't mean you can't play at all, because if they have like infinite impermanence or something, they can get around that. Plus, with cards
Yeah, but they
like
can do that same with Mecha. They can do the same with Mecha Pass, so it kind of.
Yeah, but the thing
works
is,
in
at least with
same scenario.
Mechaba, if we keep 2 Mechaba on the board, we have 2 negates as opposed to 1.
But even if it gets impermanent, you're still going to have 1 negate anyway.
And also, what are the actual chances of us being able to make 2 Mechaba turn 1?
Seems quite high with this deck, to be honest.
With Alistair invoked, the Link Monster, as well as Alistair. So you normal summon Alistar, get invocation, then summon another monster, go into the link, get another invocation, there you go, there's your 2 Mechas.
Alright. You just remember, we're filling up a lot of our extra deck right now, and we still need to make room for other cards. So yeah, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna also put in. Also, I checked. The tins are literally out 3 weeks after. Yeah, 3 weeks after the actual set comes out. So there's gonna be that little gap.
Okay.
How little
Yeah.
of a little gap is it? Like a month or a couple of weeks?
3 weeks.
Take out Starving Venom if you're not putting Super Poly in. There's no point having it in.
I was gonna put Super Poly in. I was going through other things. So
I'd still put VFD in it, to be honest.
I mean, we can put it in for now.
I mean, I'd put the VFD in, but it's not like you have to go into it. But it's nice to have
You
the
don't have to
option.
go into it, but it's nice to go into it. If, like, for example, if you're playing it, you know what your opponent's playing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Then you go into it.
That's what I'm saying. It's
So-
nice to have the option there. I wouldn't say no to it. I mean,
yeah, DFT, Cool Earth. What's your Adamant's place your opponent gonna do?
Exactly, ain't gonna do shit.
And a lot of decks do rely on one attribute at the moment.
Yeah, that's actually very true.
So if we're playing the
The
Predator,
thing is, as well, you want to play 3 Call by the Grave because you don't want to get Alistar, you don't want to get any of your Dragma stuff negated by hand traps.
The other thing you got to think about is the mirror match.
yeah, that's true.
I
The
mean,
other thing
potentially
is-
everyone's going to be playing this as an invoke variant, the way I see it.
Yeah, the Evoke variant is just way too strong.
Now, question to everyone:
I'd definitely put in 3 Call buys.
Oh yeah.
do we want to be playing
How
Albus?
how expensive is invoke now?
About 30 quid for an invocation.
You're joking.
No,
Up secret one.
Oh,
And the
God.
thing is, Konami ain't gonna do shit with the ban list for the next 10 years anyway, so it don't make a difference.
You mean the unbanned list? They don't have a ban list anymore.
Yeah,
You
shit.
need that
They might as well just put everything back to 3 and start again.
really don't want to do that.
3 gateways of the 6, hell yeah.
No, thank you. Exodia everywhere.
Yeah,
So-
one turn Exodius, bloody hell.
Albus. Do we want to be playing this card? Because this card is technically a Super Poly, but at the same time, what are we going to make outside the Starving Venom and Bastard Dragon?
I wouldn't play Instant Fusion purely for the fact that it's only at 1 and we're not gonna, we've got nothing to search it.
No, not Instant
It's a
Fusion,
start.
Albus. Hello, Tom.
It's a stats card, that's why I suggested it. Because otherwise,
Someone,
Yeah, but
Alucard.
it's a 1 load, that's the problem.
Yo.
Who's that? Is that Tom or Adam?
That's Tom.
It's me, Tom.
Hey
You got a lot-
Tom,
hey, Tom.
welcome to the chat.
Yeah,
You got-
I'm just on the way home on the train.
Well, bless you.
Personally, my opinion is I wouldn't play Instant Fusion.
Well, we'll leave it in for now and see what we can cut later.
Are you gonna? Sorry, I was hearing Lee say that he wanted to cut the Super
Interviews.
Poly and the Starving Venom. Was that correct?
No, I was trying to cut Instant Fusion.
No, I meant earlier. I heard you said to Robert.
Oh, I heard him. I saw Starving Venom in there, but he didn't put Super Poly in, so there's no point playing Starving Venom if you're not going to play Super Poly, but it's
Of
in there.
course. Oh, okay. Oh,
But
right.
one,
Yeah.
one thing I'd definitely put in is 3 Call by the Grave, especially as this deck searches a hell of a lot.
I would remove the instant fusion then, and that's. Yeah, remove the instant fusion and the.
Fusion and get rid of the Millennium and stuff.
Yeah.
Alright. Now, here's my question. Do we want to play Albus? Because this card does give us the ability to Super Poly as well, but it comes out of discard and you've got to normal or special it first.
To be fair, if we play Albus, it would be easier playing at 1.
Ooh, rest in peace, headphone users.
Because it's going to be searchable anyway, so it could come in situational.
So keep it in at 1 for now. Okay, so looking at the deck we have right now, we've got obviously the Invoke stuff, we've got Called by the Grave, we've got Super Poly, we've got a decently filled extra deck with VFD, Predaplants, Invoke stuff. Now, looking at the other Dragma monsters, personally, seeing as we're playing an Invoke build, do we want to play all of the little ones? Such as Iron Hammer, that really only does target an opponent's monster, increases itself, and decreases the opponent. And
I'm pretty sure you can push it up itself as well.
it can special summon itself if there is a extra deck monster on the board.
Yeah, so you definitely want to play 3 of that because it'd be a free special summon, wouldn't it?
It would, but the question here is, what would we use it as a free special summon for?
Anaconda.
That's true. But without the Red Eye stuff, is that worth it yet?
No, not really.
And also we've got Oracle, which basically summons itself for free as well. So that's also there if we do want that special summon. So do we want to play 3 of each, or do we want to kind of cut it down a bit, maybe have a little more room?
You might be able to cut it down to 2 of each.
Like, the only one I would not play 2 of is Saint, because this card is just a free search. So
Leave Hammer at 3 and then drop the other one down to 2.
okay. So now that we've got this, let's look at hand traps. So we're obviously going to be playing triple Ash Blossom
Ash, yeah, definitely.
and triple Imperm.
You don't need Ash Blossom anymore.
But
To be fair, I'll probably play 3 DD Korok.
why 3DD Crow? Is it because of Elderlich?
Because of Eldritch, because of Adamant's Payer, Sky Striker's still a thing.
I think
Okay.
Rain would be
Yeah.
better. I think Veiler's better. It would just target key cards.
Yeah, but if you
such as,
Eldritch, yeah, but the problem with Eldritch, it sends it to the graveyard, so you chain DD Crow to Eldritch, I can't use Eldritch effect to get a 3/5 beat stick on the field.
Hmm.
I was
But how
thinking
bad
more.
is the
But
thing? But
I
how
was
bad is
thinking
the
more-
thing with a 5/3/5 beater?
Plus
Yeah,
with
it's a
Eldritch,
free-
as well, it sends one trap
it's a-
card,
it's
and
a-
it pops one on the field.
Yeah, it's a 3/5 beater problem in the deck.
Majority of the
honestly,
time, considering the highest attacks like 3k or 2/5 3k. Unless you have Purgatory, which then bumps it up even more. But apart from that, you're playing less than. I think all your monsters are less than 3/5.
Yeah, pretty much all the
And also,
monsters
is
in
it-
this deck are less than 3/5.
And also, how well does this deck cope with playing against back row?
Against back row, it really depends on what the opponent has. Such as, because we're playing an Invoked Engine, if they stop the Alistair, that kind of does stop our turn because we can't get the extra deck monster. If they like get rid of it off the board. But at the same time, it can technically play around it because you can send like Nadir and also play like something that I personally like is Elder Entity Unts, which is when it sends to the graveyard, it gets to target a card on the board and destroy it. So I honestly think we should be
Yeah, that's
playing 3 of those.
Yeah, that's decent. I'll
Two
drop
to three
Veiler
of
down to 2, like, I want to
Yeah.
play 3 because you've got 3 impermanents already.
True.
Drop impermanents down to 2
I'm
and leave
just
Veiler at 3.
thinking- So,
I
you're
would probably play
basically
3
saying
Imperm over 2 Veiler.
If you
Over
Alistair,
3 Veiler.
then you don't. If you're playing and then your opponent stops you don't. Does this deck only work if you confuse someone? Like get spell?
No. This deck
So you have
works
no
if you
fusion
have
spell.
an
Does this
extra
deck
deck.
still op-
This deck works if you've got an extra deck monster on the board, or if your opponent has one on the board.
You don't
So-
need to.
They
Then you
always-
get
So
one.
like, say for
They're
instance, you're
always
playing against
gonna have an
Altergeist.
extra monster on
You're playing against Altergeist, and they set like three and like 1 link root.
Then you go into your own
Maybe
extra
not link root, but sorry, I mean like say like just that, and maybe set 3 and pass or something, or
Then
like 1 normal summon, or say that you play against Eldritch, they just have Lord and 3 or.
Yeah, Eldritch will always have a extra deck monster.
Well, the
because they
decks
play sync
control
right now.
are still out there. Like this deck, if you can't get to your fusion spell, I think that's the most important thing, and you'll need it. You need. That's why I suggest maybe playing instant fusion to give you that extra monster zone, maybe. If
Yeah, but even then, instant fusion
critical.
isn't 1. You're relying on it, drawing it first turn.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's
and-
You've
better.
also got to remember, because we're playing the Invoked engine, we're guaranteed a fusion spell to be able to actually get into our Invoked stuff and then get access into our special summon monsters from hand.
But basically what I'm saying is it's not like 2015. Like you're playing against most decks that have lots of interruption. So if you're like I've just noticed from playing against decks like Invoke decks, if you stop the fusion, then like they pass and then you get OTK'd.
So that's the thing
It's
about
probably-
this deck. That's the thing about this deck. If they,
Yeah.
let's say you're going first, and they interrupt that invoked fusion, they're gonna go on
Yeah.
their turn, and they're gonna do it. And don't forget, like we was talking earlier, this has the quick play spell card. Sorry, the quick effect card and stuff like that. You're not really you don't have to on your fusion monster or your monster. You can rely on their side. So when it comes to their turn and they start to do silly things,
Yeah.
You get free special summons when they summon monsters from the extra deck.
you get a free summon when they summon
Okay.
stuff. So that's how it works. You don't have to rely on
Yeah.
your fusion summons, and you don't have
Exactly.
to even have to fusion summon itself. You can just, like we were discussing earlier, you can just go into the what was it, the Almirage combo instead.
Yeah.
So you're not fusion summoning at all.
Maybe it's worth playing cards that maybe give you force your opponent to go into the extra deck.
Well, that's the thing.
Uh,
So that's why we said we were talking about the level 4s, because if it gets to the point where they're going to interrupt our fusion summons or anything like that, it's as easy as going into our normal summons and just popping off from their effects, because that's what
Yeah.
they can do.
Sounds good.
Yeah, they're
Um,
basically, the deck has its way around, not negates. I wouldn't say negates, but it's got its way around being stopped from summoning is the best way.
Basically, if they stop you from
Oh.
summoning, you got. Just think of it as it's more than one way to skin a cat. So if they stop you
Also,
the main
how-
way, you've still got other ways to go around.
Yeah, you're
How
always
strong
going to
is
end up on a result, basically.
How strong is this deck against like stuff like Nibiru? Like, is it the Nibiru
You
affecting
don't
this
really,
deck much?
yeah, you got you play Mecha
Alright.
Blast, you negate Nibiru. And you basically get Mecha Bear out pretty much straight away, and that stops
What about
it
Ash?
with same. If they ash you, then you can still play around it anyway.
Cool.
That's why you play free
And,
by the Graves as well.
You got Infect Veilers or DD Crows.
One thing I found actually pretty nice is Chalice.
Chalice probably be something for the side deck, not main deck.
Yeah, like side probably, yeah. But what I noticed, Chalice is really nice going second at purely on the base, or if you're playing like a deck, that is purely because it helps break boards going second and going first. Like you just add, if you get stopped, you have an added interruption and attack boost sometimes a little bit. Just like a very versatile card at the moment. That's
What, Forbidden Chalice, you mean?
I just think at the moment, with the way we've got it built, it's more of a.
also when this
side
deck comes out with the other forbidden card, the forbidden
Yes.
Droplets.
Yes.
droplets. Yeah, would that be?
Yes.
Yeah.
properly.
It's also worth looking at other cards that are coming out in this set and stuff, and around that time.
3 tactical talents.
That's why
Yeah,
I
as well, yeah, as well. If this
brought out Shit Old Rook.
if this yeah, because if this card is coming out, like look at cards that are coming out around the same time, because we might
Actually-
as well test them.
He's actually right, because sometimes Konami actually do that, where they make that one odd random card that supplements one of these decks.
Yeah, like
Well,
it's worth looking.
Thinking about
looking
3
at-
tactical talents, it's got a change of heart effect on it. So that could take your opponent's extra deck monster, or
Also, how good the I don't know the name. It's like the 4 from the left or top. The
What, the black one?
the two of
Talking about Maximus.
yeah. Maximus
Oh, sorry.
Dragma. How good is that card?
This card can basically destroy your opponent's entire extra deck.
I don't. I think he's, because he said he's on the train. I don't think he can read it properly. Why don't you just read out the effect
Yeah.
quickly again?
You can banish one fusion, synchro XCs, or link in your graveyard to summon this card from your hand. You can send 2 extra deck monsters with different names from your extra deck to the graveyard, and also make your opponent choose 2 extra deck monsters in their extra deck and send those to the graveyard. You cannot special summon for the extra deck for the rest of this turn.
Well, I briefly read over this. I briefly looked over this deck very briefly once. Just because I'm looking for fusion deployment targets. I think this card is named on the the fusion. I think something basketball.
You're talking about Albus. Yes, we've already got it in the
Albus.
deck.
Yeah, so you can fusion deployment. You can fusion deployment it out.
The thing with that
That's
is
a very
though,
good thought, Tom. That's great.
the thing with
Yeah.
fusion deployment in this deck, though, in my opinion, with this card specifically, is that it doesn't really do anything if your opponent's not playing a dark deck. Now, it's a good idea thanks to the invoked engine, which we could actually add in as well because of that.
Oh, but
But
Tom,
you can-
here's the thing you need to remember as well, Tom. This deck, your fusions and stuff need to happen before you start bringing out the monsters.
Yeah, because
They lock out your extra deck.
yeah, so does fusion deployment. Fusion deployment locks you out anyway.
No, fusion deployment
What I'm
locks you
saying is
into
just-
specifically fusions.
Which is but pretty
Well,
much.
which
I
is
mean,
fine because you're playing the invoke stuff mainly.
Like I'm looking at maybe this is a side deck option for going second or something where you need to just like clear boards and stuff.
Yeah.
Dealing with control decks with lots of like problem cards, you can easily like. And most control decks can't OTK, so you clear boards just up a little bit, and then maybe not have to go too far in, and then just smack them the next.
So the good thing is, I can't remember what card it was, but I believe one of the cards, what it does, it wipes the opponent's board.
That was
So the
Cardinal.
the more
If it
the more-
if it destroys a monster by battle.
by playing more cards with it, you have more chance of doing it. That's what I'm saying. And wiping opponent's boards is pretty strong. So instead of playing like 3, you have 6 board wipes, which is much better.
Yeah, you might as well just stop playing Magic the Gathering at this rate.
I mean, everyone's making massive boards these days, like, and I'm sure that's not going to stop with the Inferno. If I can't pronounce that.
On a note,
A few other things.
on a note,
And
just something
a
I
few
want
other
to mention
things that
is Shadow Rook. This is a card that also comes out at the time of this deck being released, and this card is actually very easy to use in a deck like Dragma, for the fact that thanks to cards like Maximus, you can send stuff like Shadow Apolloco to the graveyard to search it from your deck to your hand, obviously discarding another card. But what this pretty much is, it's a Shadow Fusion from the graveyard, so it's a Miracle Fusion trap, and it will allow us. It could also allow us to summon Winder during our opponent's turn.
That's really good. Like I think
That was
everyone
another
knows how good
reason
that
why I
is.
was saying about instant fusion, because obviously you can instant fusion out Winder as well.
Yeah, but you can't. You won't be able to protect the Winder.
I think it just gives you
You
more
can't protect Window,
as
that's
well.
the thing.
No, but that's the thing. If you're gonna instant fusion the Winder, you're not going anywhere from there. Is my opinion. Sorry.
And plus, Window gets destroyed at the end phase anyway.
So,
Exactly, and
thing is,
then you're screwed.
well, you could, yeah, but it's like Millennium Knights restricts because you don't play it because it wins you games. You play it because it keeps you from losing games. Say you're in a position where you need to. It doesn't have it like nice to have an option. Say your opponent's about to do some massive long combo and you're on the back foot, dropping Winder.
It's also very easy to get to,
It's
which is
just
kind
to
of
stun
like the reason I want to kind of say this, because literally all you've got to do is
If it's
you've got to
yeah.
get to a dark monster,
Yeah.
which could be the Alistair the Invoker, and you got to get Apolloco in the graveyard, which is literally just Dragma Maximus, because you literally send Apolloco and another extra deck monster, possibly Bastard Dragon to the graveyard, so you can get that free search or special summon during the end phase, and then you've literally got two searches during that turn, or a special summon and a search, and also have access to Winder on your opponent's turn, which I think is actually really, really strong in a deck like this, especially seeing as it's just so easy to get to. So I would say we should probably play Shadow Rook and possibly cut down some things, such as maybe not playing
Actually, that's-
3 Unts. And also the good thing is we can
Hold
also
on,
play
actually that's
Construct.
not good.
Why
Actually,
is
that's
it
quite
good?
good for the mirror match as well. Actually works for the mirror match.
How many draw
Rob,
cards?
one
does
other
this
thing
deck
for
play?
the
sorry,
for the mirror. Just wanted to ask one thing. How many
Yeah,
level
go,
8
go.
are you playing?
We're playing 3 of the level 8. 5 level 8s.
So you could consider maybe Ding
Uh,
Ghosty.
the thing with Ding is that
Yeah,
when
but
you
the thing is,
have
if you go into level 8, you can't special summon from the extra deck, so Dingus is pointless.
No, you can special summon from
Yeah.
the extra deck. It's just that you can't use Maximus's effect.
It depends entirely. It's situational, but again, it's sending it's sending key cards, stuff that I know what I'm
I mean,
trying
it's,
to say.
I mean, it's
just not
thing
saying it well.
because I can see where you're going with that because I was actually it crossed my mind when I was talking because it protects window. But I think it's to do with a lot of like it's a good card, but it's not. There's probably more options to play, and I think what I was actually about to was looking at this extra deck, right? How I don't see many draw cards, so like extravagance could be an option. I mean, you're playing free Mecha Boy. You're playing like you just buy the free.
The
Playing
problem
free
with
inks.
extravagance,
You're playing a lot of things that might not necessarily
um,
need like you're not really. Do you really need like Almirage? The other
to be honest,
and
with
you've
us
got a few
playing
other,
extravagance, we're playing the
how
invoked
often?
engine.
How often?
You gotta remember that, Tom. With the invoked engine,
How often?
if we banish the Almirage and we banish the Secure Gardener, that does kind of take away
Oh yeah,
our play.
I see.
So that's the thing. We could consider playing Pot of
I
Desires.
see where you go.
Which sure we could banish all three Alistair, we could banish all three.
I'm just looking at that,
but it's less deadly than Extravagance because our extra is kind of important as well.
Extrav, yeah. Maybe
Because
I'm a bit mad.
it's also kind of the fact that
this extravagance.
we lose Maximus's point of view, which is like we get to destroy our opponent's extra deck with this card at the same time.
Tom, about the Almirage.
Yeah.
A lot of these cards, and we're talking Alistairs as well, and we're talking about the rank fours. Like you said earlier, this is the case where we're in a Yu-Gi-Oh format where everything's just a negate. If we're screwed, we can just, because the deck doesn't always start off with a normal summon. If we're screwed, we can just normal summon something and go into the Almirage. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I see. I see.
So that's the point, because the deck doesn't have to start off on a normal summon. It starts off with anything from an opponent's fusion summon that you can just special summon. You get what I mean?
If
So
we're going that
if we
route,
were to,
if we're going that route, I say we should literally play 2 Hammer and then 3 Oracle then, because Hammer is an 18 attack point monster, whereas Oracle is a 1,000 attack point monster. So that way, if we do,
but you need no. But that's the thing. You need the 1,000-point monster to go into the Almirage.
No,
you
that's
can't
what
go
I'm
into
saying.
the Almirage.
No. Instead of playing 3 Iron Hammer, we play 3 Oracle, so we have that additional 1,000 attack or less monster to go into the Almirage. So we should probably play 2 Hammer, 3 Oracle.
And that way you're not getting locked out of a deck or anything. You're not getting any lockouts, and you have the Almirage play, and that way you're safe if any more shenanigans were to happen. Is how I see it at this point. And there are going to be shenanigans. This is Yu-Gi-Oh! We're talking about. This is 2020 Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah.
There's shenanigans every left, right, and center draw. So.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you think about the Adamancipator board, they've got Appaloosa, so with either 3 or 4 negates usually, and they've got it Masquerena as well. So having multiple monsters that you can just normal summon and then just go into your extra deck, whether their effects are negated or not, is probably more helpful than anything else.
And here's the thing.
The reason why I was...
Sorry, go ahead, and I'll say what I was going to say about Kat's response.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just thinking of breaking boards is what I've learned. It's not worth throwing like 3 or 4 monsters, like say, or using effects to try battle through Appaloosa negates and stuff like that. It's like maybe look into more things that can they're more generic cards to like play through like monster negates and like stuff like that.
So
just like that's why I was thinking about. I know I'm going on a bit much about it, but I just noticed it's just doesn't really seem useful on the surface, and it's not probably like the most optimal. There's probably better cards to play. Whereas the most generic, best cards you could probably like.
I mean, that's the thing.
Sorry.
I think that's the thing about this deck, though. You don't need. That's the thing about this deck. It can get through those plays because. Okay, let's just say I had my Appaloosa right, and I'm ready to do my 3 negates, right? If I see someone who starts playing off this combo, I'm not gonna use my negates straight away. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna see, oh, he's just gonna go off on the normal summons effect. I'm not gonna waste my Appaloosa's effects just yet. And then if you're smart and you know what your deck does, you're gonna play around that Appaloosa event, that person's gonna be, oh shit, now what do I do? Because, oh, sorry for my language. But yeah, that person's gonna be, oh no, what do I do now? I haven't used my Appaloosa effects, but there's nothing viable to use it on now. And this deck, as I said earlier, this deck ends on a giant, not giant board, but it ends on big stuff that Appaloosa's not gonna have a good time with.
Yeah, I see where you're going, but instead of like I said, instead of using resources to try and play, it's simply just drop it, and then you've dealt with it straight away, and you haven't lost any more resources, and you've still.
But that's the thing. The
all
deck,
the cards, and you still.
But that's the thing.
You're not just playing
it's
against
not.
a single Appaloosa.
But that's the thing. You're not playing resources to get around it. You're just playing the resources to play the deck anyway. It's just that the deck.
Yeah.
While playing the deck, it uses its resources to get around the Appaloosa. It works in. It's like a double-edged sword. You know what I mean? But I see your point with the chalice. I do really see your point with the chalice. I just think that with the deck as it is right now, I mean, we've already even hit 43, and we're not even sure what we want to take out just yet. And then to suddenly be adding chalice into the mix, you know.
Well, I can tell you now what to drop. Drop an ash and drop. You don't need 3 ash. If you play, look on. And you've gone over, so you've already lowered the consistency of you drawing that. You're playing the consistency of drawing a hand trap, but you've consistency of like drawing multiple ashes and stuff. I've just never liked double more than 2 ashes. I've always found
I'll be honest with you.
if you're playing, it's like playing. I think if you're going forward, how many hand traps you got? 3, 6. Okay, you got like 8 hand traps.
Yeah, you got
11. You play
7.
basically playing 11 hand traps because 3 impermanents. Most decks play between 10 to 12 hand traps anyway. So you need the mid there.
You got loads of hand traps, but like your odds are you're gonna open a hand trap. But when you don't want to
playing
open is
14 hand traps.
Hand traps, or too many of the same kind of hand trap. Imperm and Valar are effectively the same kind. Is one thing to consider, as well as I mean DD Crow. I mean how
DD Crow is really good against
Me personally, I wouldn't play
only,
DD Crow because it's only good against Elder Lich.
I was gonna say
the
no.
card
I
still
don't.
does have
I don't
use
see.
other utilities.
I'll be honest with you. I don't see the. This is what I was gonna say earlier, and I forgot. Because you said Elder Lich. Crows are good for the Elder Lich. I don't see the Elder Lich plays being that big anymore.
They're massive. Eldritch Synchro is one of the best decks out at the moment.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That right now it is quite big, but that's the thing. Potentially, it might not be later on. Because we're talking.
With Eldritch,
it's just gonna be mixed. If it's not synchro now, it's gonna be something else. Eldritch literally like it doesn't require its normal summon. It can play literally even. There could be some other new engine that we haven't even considered or thought about. That card's gonna come out that Eldritch is gonna end up. Even if it's synchro.
Top.
I still would. Yeah.
Give it a few months. Give it a couple of months when Numeron comes out. Eldritch Numeron, Eldritch Numeron would be a deck, and it'd be unbreakable. They just go straight. They usually go straight into Sexor and plus have fucking all the Eldritch cards.
If we're
set
thinking
as well.
that way, then we should probably consider playing. No, not Omega. Ghost Ogre.
I'll probably put
maybe
Ghost
I don't know. Maybe
over Valar.
So what you could do then is drop the Valors and put Ghost Ogres instead. Because you got the infinite impermanences anyway.
Technically, with the Valors, we have 8 infinite
I'll keep the
impermanences.
Valors. I'll keep the Valors and drop the Deep Crows and side them.
No. I'm talking about the deck that Lee just mentioned. The Eldritch thing. Eldritch Numerons, you said.
Yeah, I've already seen it in action, and it is busted.
Yeah, so in that case, DD Crows are very effective against it.
Yeah, but you also got to remember.
So the thing with Eldritch is not actually a deck. It's just like Sky Striker now. It's an engine.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with Invoked. Same with Trickstars. Same with Sky Striker. Same with all cards. They're all engines now.
You just like it's like Lancia in say Orcast format. There's very few decks maining it, even though Orcast was most of the meta. You wouldn't really main just Lancia purely because of the diversity of the amount of other decks that are in it. Like you might pair, you might say for instance play 7 rounds in a tournament. You're only going to play against Orcast maybe in the last 2 to 3 rounds. You might play Orcast like twice. So DD Crow is only going until
Yeah, but
round
the thing
5 or
is-
something.
the thing is what I've learned
DD Crow is only be useful. You're maining it, and you're going to be drawing it a lot against.
Decks that won't be
It's not
needing
really.
it.
Yeah, but
Also-
the thing I've learned when you play
But, like, I
regionals
agree
is that
with
you
you,
play shit
but
decks going up, and then after round 3, round 4, when you
Yeah.
start winning, you're playing against all the meta decks.
So-
So DD does come in clutch.
Yeah,
But
that's what I mean.
that's the problem.
That's
Lee. Sorry.
you don't want to be losing. You don't want to be losing to decks just because your deck is more inconsistent than theirs.
Yes.
Drawing dead cards.
You've also got to
So he's
I
remember,
would side.
if
I
we're
would side
talking,
to DD Crow.
if we're talking about the
Sorry, I just
Numeron,
want-
just because of Elder Lich is with Numeron,
Yeah.
DD Crow isn't the thing that's going to be doing anything against the Numeron stuff. The stuff that will probably do against the Numeron stuff is stuff like Typhoon and Ghost Ogre. So these are 2 cards. If we are looking more into that, it'd be better just to cut the DD Crows and put in
So
Ghost
can't DD
Ogres.
Crow stuff.
Here's
And
another
put
thing
in
we're not
Ghost Ogres.
And
considering.
also, whenever
Here's the thing we're not considering. We're talking about this deck against the big meta, but we also need to consider the fact who's playing this deck and where they're playing it. Is it their locals, or is it in a high frequency tournament like a YCS or something like that, or a regional?
The thing is,
Where-
we ain't gonna know that for about another 6 or 7
Well,
months.
we're building
Exactly.
this for
Yeah.
a regional at least.
So-
I would
Yeah.
say.
So if we're
Okay.
looking at a regional or a big event, okay, then chances are we are going to be running into those big heavy hitter decks, and we're talking
no, you
in-
won't.
no,
Because
but that's the thing. A lot
Last
of
two last two YCSs I've been to.
I don't
the
count-
the
I
last
don't
most
count
major tour-
I don't
and the
count YCS.
most tournaments and regionals I played against. I literally play against Rogue the first like 2 to 3 rounds, and then only in the last because the reason being is because to build these decks is actually requires a lot of money and a lot of expenses.
But
Not
that's-
saying there's not people
yeah.
up there, but what I'm saying is to these decks have such high paywalls. You've got to be either like a pro player and being sponsored and to get these cards, a few players, or you've got to have them to shell out on these cards. And it's maybe there might be only maybe like 8 to 9, 10 people playing Eldritch in the room. So the odds of you
YCS
playing
doubt
in
that.
like
No, come on, let's be honest.
300. No, I'm talking about regional. I'm talking about regional.
Yeah, no,
Um,
regional's understandable.
But
Yeah.
like the odds, if we're saying we're going for a regional, the odds are you're going to play against that is very unlikely. You might just get unlucky and play, but the odds are you're going to be playing against a lot of.
Yeah, but if you look,
that are
at the
not-
recent
And also-
online tournaments that they've been as well. The recent online
Yeah, but
tournaments
online,
have been Adamant
but online you can play
LG
anything. It
Synchro
doesn't matter.
constantly.
Can I say something? And this is going to bring back a lot of
Anyone has access.
this is going to bring back a lot of Vietnam flashback memories for you lot. But let's talk about when Double Helix came out. Okay, remember that YCS in London? How many people were playing Double Helix? How many people were playing expensive meta deck on that?
Double
deck?
Helix was a tier 0 deck.
Exactly.
If you didn't play, yeah, but this Numeron deck isn't.
No, but it
will
is.
be, it will be.
It will be the crazy. It will be
I know.
that deck. That's the thing. That's the problem. I was looking at it just now after Lee had mentioned it, and from what I can see,
I've already seen it in action in the OCG, and it is absolutely disgusting.
You
Yeah,
can
I was
take it
looking
in
at
any
it,
control
really.
deck. You can take
Yeah.
it in
I
any
don't want to
control
play
deck.
against it.
Yeah, it's stupidly fucking good.
I saw it and I was like, no, this.
I mean, I'll
remember the
probably
reason
end
I
up
quit
playing it.
Yu-Gi-Oh. The reason I quit Yu-Gi-Oh was for stupid decks, and then I just saw this now and I'm like, wow, that's not a deck.
It is a stupid deck.
It's not something I want my Crusaders to go up against. I'd rather keep my
Special
Crusaders.
summon as many XYZ monsters as you want. Yeah.
Yeah, remember Pendulum Summoning when it first came out? It's like that with XZs basically.
Right, but also what I'm saying is also we're talking about going back to D,
Hmm.
and stuff. I don't think it's worth playing 3D DD Crow even for that chance. Play against it unless you know 100% you're going to be playing against it by the time it form up. Maybe yes, but at the moment I don't know what imports we're going to actually get from the OCG. So
He's got
it's
a point there.
still like
doesn't just stop.
yes. I don't know if any of you guys have talked about yet. How much have you guys considered playing against the mirror?
Quite a bit, and the deck does have its own, like with the way we got it right now, it does hold up against the mirror.
So what you're saying is also Alistair, is the main compete component Isn't like playing more Veiler just to stop the mirrors of the opponent's Alistair better than playing DD?
We're technically playing 8 effect Veiler as is right now.
Yeah, there is.
Maybe play 3 and drop a DD Crow, or maybe.
Well, we've already
put
dropped
DD
DD Crow.
We've already got DD.
I put
and
the
then-
I dropped the DD Crow and put in Ghost Ogre because obviously we're looking more towards the Numeron stuff.
Cool. Yeah.
Also,
I'm pretty sure
are we
Numeron's
gonna-
not going to be.
Here's a real
Numeron's not
question
going to
as
be
well.
a problem with.
Are we going to be playing Dragoon? Because obviously this is a busted card.
You need to play it.
Super Poly deals with that, no
You need to
problem.
play- You need to play Realize Fusion as well.
Yeah.
It's like,
it needs to be played.
obviously this comes out a little later, so are we going to actually try and build this with Dragoon?
I wouldn't for now.
So here's my question then.
Okay, then.
This is a serious question about this deck then. Would you play it now or would you play it when Dragoons come out?
You'd play
No,
it when Dragoon comes out, to be
So
honest.
why? So
I
that's
would
the
play-
case. In that case,
Personally,
So
I would
if-
play this deck as soon as it comes out because I feel like
That's
this deck could be
August.
one of the most bustedest decks. Dragoon comes out 3 weeks after this deck is released, and
I would happily wait a month. I don't mind waiting 3
To be
weeks.
fair, this deck's good. Dragoon just makes it even more busted.
That's the point. So why? Well, I was gonna say we're building this. What's the reason we're doing this right now? We're doing this video to see what the best outcome we can of this deck. And
so we should
technically
probably play with
speaking,
Dragoon, then.
yeah. So we're playing it. So technically speaking,
Yeah.
we're building it based on the theory that Dragoon is out now. We might as well implement a Dragoon engine.
But also,
So you'll need a Red Eyes and a Dark Magician.
Also, would consider. I would. Possibly, yeah. Actually, well, I must have
Just send it by
playing cards.
Just send it by
Playing
hand.
cards that beat. Yeah. But also, we need playing cards that beat Dragoon as well, because I reckon everyone in the mob is going to end up playing Dragoon. Control deck will just end up playing Dragoon. I mean, it's stupid not to.
You got to play non-target. You got to play non-target cards because it can't be targeted.
I can't wait to play Unchained and Super Poly. I can make Unchained with Super Poly in the main deck is nutty. It's literally like,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It does so many things, and it's been such a problem not being able to play Super Poly in this format. Like, imagine if you just play like the Emancipator board, and that's bang done. Like,
So here's
but like
here's
I'm
my
saying,
thing
but
about
here's the
this.
Super
thing.
Poly
Actually, here's the thing.
or side play 1 and side 2 maybe is it probably a good.
I was actually going to say something, so I just noticed something. If we're going for the Dragoon build, before the Dragoon build, if we before we go into the Dragoon build, Nibiru wasn't a threat, but now we're going into the Dragoon build. It's actually going to become a bit of a threat now.
It really
Not
isn't.
really Dragoon against Nibiru anyway.
Oh,
It
does
really
it?
Isn't. Yeah.
Yes, it
Dragoons
does.
are not in it.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry, I didn't know.
Think of
Summon
Dragoon is just like Savage Dragon. It negates fucking everything.
Um,
And then next turn, it can't be targeted.
Yeah.
The next thing, you just pop stuff for fun.
Here's my thing now.
I
We're
reckon
obviously
Dragoon
getting
killed
close to where
Nibiru.
we're going to
I
have to
think
end
once
this. We're getting to the point where we're going to have to end this soon. We've got like 20 minutes left until we actually finish this up. But we should probably start looking at stuff that we would cut and change now, because obviously we've got a lot of stuff we want to play. We want to play the Dragoons. We're going to be playing the Shadow Engine. Is there anything in here we should really
Drop.
cut right now?
Drop Ghost Ogre down to 2. Just have a line up at 2, 2, 2. Just have a line up at 2 and 2.
What about Ghost Ogre and Ash, too?
You could do, but Ash is more.
Who said that first?
Well, I said to you,
To be honest,
I said it to
kinda
you too,
agree
Thomas.
with
Remember
Ash.
when you
I'm
you
not
said it? When you said it, I said I agree because I don't play. I don't play 3 Ashes in Crusadia.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie, I
I
kind
mean,
of agree with 2 Ash right now for the pure fact that obviously it's a hard once per turn, and hard once per turn effects, as we're going forward, it's not going to be as good, because if we open up double Ash, as I believe Tom already said, that really does suck, but if we open 1 Ash and we open
it's
like
so,
multiple Veiler, multiple
sad.
Imperm, it's so good. So
Also,
cutting maybe Ash down to 2 and
Veiler's a light
playing...
monster, so
Because like, also if we're doing this, we're still playing
And so
what?
is
We're
Ghost
playing
Ogre.
6...
Yeah, Ghost Ogre.
We're playing 12
Yeah, but
hand
you're also
traps.
running risk of not seeing it, which means they can get needle fiber off easily.
Yeah, but we're still playing 12 hand traps.
Yeah, but
We're playing 3 Knight, which is basically
Wait, no,
effect
if
Veiler
you
or
miss-
Imperm. We're playing 2 Veiler, which is Imperm. We're playing Imperm itself for 3. We're playing 2 Ash, and we're playing 2 Ghost Ogre. So that's 12 hand traps. So we're
That
already
is
playing
true.
so many
Yeah.
hand traps.
I don't think Kriston half over a problem.
Drop the imperms. No one needs imperms. Imperms are
Sure.
overpriced and crap. Don't
No,
Um,
no. No,
This is
Imperm is
something I
like the
wanna
best hand
say.
trap ever.
I
It's a
don't
trap
think
card.
I have a card. I don't.
Can you
personally
imagine
think-
old
Imperm is the
Dean,
best hand
you-
trap right
can you imagine all day Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
You activate impermanent. And what the hell is a hand trap and a trap card at the same time? I've never heard of those.
Mate, wait. I hope they make a deck which is literally a hand trap deck, which is full of hand traps.
Oh
with-
please,
with
that they're
actual
already.
traps you can
What do you
activate
think
the
all
hand.
these? What do you think Ash Blossom and Ghost Ogre is? What do you think Ash Blossom and Ghost Ogre is? All those
No,
little
but
girls.
Actual,
There's
actual
gonna be.
traps.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling
Play
you
little
right now.
girls.
I'm telling you right now. They're gonna make a card one day. They're gonna make a card one day that says you can play all these little nun girls, naughty girls to kill your opponent. Don't have to activate effects. You just bring them out and be like, oh, here you go. Here's an XYZ Link monster that you've never heard of. This is the new card summoning mechanic. It's called Link Z's or something like that. And it's a little girl, Lolly, that normal summons and negates and does all these other crazy hand traps.
All right.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna have to email
So-
Konami about something like that.
About more things we should cut. I personally think we shouldn't be playing Iron Hammer. I know Lee, Cat, you were both on it, but I personally don't like the card. It doesn't really.
I never said we was on it. I said drop it down.
Yeah, I
well,
said
drop
You're
it
the one
down.
that actually wanted to play it at 3.
Yeah, we said to
Um,
drop it down after the last discussion where we don't need Iron Hammer anymore. We prefer the other
No.
one, the 1000 one.
This was to drop it down and then up the other one, but but you were saying about how it could special summon is pretty good. But I personally feel like because of it doesn't really give us any advantage or do anything else,
Cut
we're
it.
not really playing at all.
You cut it and you got a 40 card deck almost.
Yeah.
I'd agree with Rob there. Like, if a card you're playing that just generates you advantage, but like you don't gain anything off that advantage, just basically.
Also, do we want to play Punishment? Because it's the fact that it's a trap
Hey,
card that we can use during our opponent's turn and maybe send Unts to gain 2 potential pops. But at the same time, it doesn't.
No,
knock us
so that's
out
the
for
thing.
next turn.
Is it searchable?
No,
It
no,
is
so here's the
searchable.
thing. We
It
won't
is
need.
searchable.
It is, but you only need that one.
Play it.
Do we want to play it or
Yeah,
do
if
we
it's
want to
searchable
not
at
play
one,
it?
I mean, if you don't draw it, you can draw it. I mean, how good is it? Let me just read it for a second.
Basically you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls.
Target one face-up monster
Send
your
one
opponent
mon-
controls.
Send one monster.
Oh,
from your
Rob, I'll read it
extra-
out.
Okay, go on then.
Target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Send one monster from your extra deck to the graveyard with an equal or higher attack. And if you do,
Boy, that's broken.
yeah, and if you do, destroy the targeted monster. Until the end of your next
wait.
turn.
So basically,
Let me read it.
Is you send in
Until the end of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
next turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from the extra deck. Robert, you popped off it.
So the idea behind this card is you play Unts and you send Unts with it, so you get 2 effective pops. But
Yeah.
But we always
Yeah,
don't have access to that.
Yeah, you can only
Yeah, but you
activate
can
one.
send the Shadow one that sends the trap, right? Then you can fusion someone on your next turn after it, or something like that. You can just set up the Shadow trap card.
I mean, in that case, we're doing the Shadow Rook because we're playing Maximus, and Maximus already sends Apolloco to the graveyard.
Yeah.
Also, seeing as we're
Yeah,
playing
so you
the
can say
Dragoons,
there's another way to
Wait, is it Shadow Rook with a...
play.
Wait, how's it spelled? Is it Rook? You keep saying Rook. Is it Ro or Rook?
RUQ.
Oh, there's a Q. I can't see it. The quality, like it's all fuzzy on my screen. I can only see. I thought it was an O. I was like, I thought it was a Ro or something like that. Rook. Okay.
Something also I would probably suggest is, seeing as we're playing the Dragoons engine, and we've already got Phileas, maybe cut it's Super Poly and cut the Super Starving Venom to make extra deck space, because I'm looking at the extra deck and I'm thinking we do need to kind of make up space for like maybe a construct as well, because Rook is a continuous trap, for instance, and also Omega, because if we're going to be sending cards with Maximus, then we can send Omega and recycle cards as well.
If we're gonna play the Rook and the trap card, I would agree with that, and I'd say drop it and put the construct back in.
Actually, I think guys. Just
Because if you cut it right now, we're down to 40. Is that not correct?
I don't. You wouldn't go lower than 42. Wait, hold up, guys. Hold up.
I can't hear you too well. We can't hear you well,
Hold
Tom.
up, guys. This is the problem with one-offs and things like this. We got one-off bricks are running. Right. Start dropping cards now. You guys are gonna start opening turns. You got bricks. You got what's it called? You got the trap cards. You don't really want to end up drawing. Maybe you potentially end up hands with, like, say, the original Red Eye killers, the high level monsters. maybe a hand trap, and like I don't know, something dead, or something else, and one combo card or something, and one play start, and if that play start gets stopped, you've basically got bricks in your hand.
Yeah, but that still
You got
doesn't
Dark Magician in your hand.
I mean,
that still
42
doesn't
cards with
justify
this
the
hand
I think
is
40
pretty good.
I wouldn't go lower. I wouldn't go lower than 42.
But
Purely based on the amount of
that still
one-off.
doesn't justify keeping the instant fusion and the starving venom.
We already cut the instant fusion.
Instant fusion is better than drawing a vanilla. Trust me.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I would honestly say we cut the super poly and we cut the starving though, because we could keep the starving. But
Yeah, sorry, super poly, not instant. Sorry, I
we
said
could keep
instant
the
fusion,
starving
not
because we've
poly.
got actually Phileas, because Phileas allows us to go into starving
Yeah.
venom. But honestly, looking at
Also,
it right now,
so plan-
I think we should probably consider cutting the VFD and maybe a Mechaba to make more space, because like VFD may be good, but again, it's less likely to
Yeah.
happen.
How often are you making VFD? If you play like a couple of games, like how easy is it going into VFD
So,
and how often? You do it?
Actually, I'm on the fence. I agree with both Robert and Lee. Rob's idea he would rather keep out the two Mechabas, where Lee said he would rather have the VFD. I'm on the fence. I can't really say.
Mm.
I'll be honest, I've never been up against the Calamity,
But
so
like,
I don't know.
I've been up against VFD, and trust me, you don't want to go up against it.
I mean,
What does it do? Can I read it? Sorry.
VFD and
You can't activate
just says you
monster
can't play
effects of the
Yu-Gi-Oh.
declared attribute on your board, and you can't attack. But you can impermanent.
what
The
I'm
thing with
saying is,
with VFD to bypass it.
yeah, you just
thing with
you go
VFD,
for all
though-
effort, and then you go for the whole effort to make VFD, and then you get you get impermed, and you just sit there
Yes,
crying.
just
and you
change-
spend,
just
like, 10
chain
resources
on the
trying to make it,
imperm.
and you've got nothing.
Or if you're a Crusader.
Yeah, but so you activate and standby or something. Then your opponent chains imperm.
You won't do it. The thing is, Tom, you won't do it on a standby phase. You let them play it normal, summon a card, then you chain VFD for it. How they
Exactly.
gonna impermanence it when there's a card in the field?
I guess.
Most people will save.
Well,
most
I'm
people
saying
will
is-
do it during the standby phase.
Yeah, then the idiots need to be shot.
Yeah, but you gotta
Yeah.
remember, a lot
No,
of
It works.
people.
It works in
everyone-
the same. It works in the.
Guys, we need to be careful. We're going on to
But
international.
it works in the
warfare.
same way as Dweller. You won't activate Dweller in the standby phase. You'll
No,
activate
you
that in
will
the main
activate.
phase when they play a card.
No, you will activate Dweller.
Yeah,
on
but
standby
that's the
phase.
thing, Lee. But that's the thing. That's the thing.
phase.
If the player knows
I'm
what
not
you're
letting my
doing,
opponent go.
but, if the player knows what you're doing, they're gonna activate in the standby phase. If they know what you're playing or they know what you're doing, they're gonna
Yeah,
say
but you
standby
can,
phase.
with VFD or Dweller, you can chain two
Yeah.
impermanents anyway, so it's not going to negate nothing. So it doesn't make a difference.
Mm.
True.
So
What I'm saying is, it's just risky.
Drop
Like
cool
it's
buy.
not worth
It's, to
making
be
two
fair, it's not.
Mechabas.
To be fair,
Just
it's not risky at all. You need to play 3 Mechabas. It's not risky at all. You can out impermanent.
yeah,
you
but
can
like
out
the resources.
right,
The
let's
resources
do
to
a
make
couple of test hands. See
It's
how
the one
often.
card.
we
Wait,
make the VFD.
Rob,
the
before
resources to make Mechaba. The resources to make Mechaba are easy. All your monsters are light. What's the
correct.
issue?
every single monster is like except the Ash.
Exactly. What's the issue?
Like the Mechabas are fine. It's the VFD.
Well,
I
I'm
think
sa-
that's
what
the
the-
issue.
Rob, I say,
Yeah.
drop.
Plus,
Rob,
you've also got Alistair the Invoke Magnus Link Monster to get another invocation as well. So you could potentially
Rob,
have 3 Mechabas on the field at once. So he's still
Rob,
going to VFD and having a Mechabar. He's fine.
Yeah.
Robert,
I've never seen it,
Robert,
and I've only seen it played once against me with someone made 2 Mechabas against it, and they made VFD, and I just managed to stall for 2 turns, and then I just won because
Robert.
they had nothing else or
Rob-
I could play around.
Sorry, Tom. Robert,
Yes.
drop one cool by the grave. Drop one call by the grave. Play every hand wrap at
No,
2 hands.
Don't drop
No,
cool
you
by.
need 3 call buys.
Don't-
This is a searching deck, so you need to watch.
I would say if we're cutting something.
No, I'm
we
just
should
saying, just for the
probably-
sake-
If
just
your
for the
Alistair,
start
if your Alistair
a
gets
knight.
if your Alistair gets stopped, you're gonna cry.
Exactly.
I would say we should probably cut a knight then, because knight doesn't do anything turn 1 outside of summon itself. It needs a Dragma to be an
I'd
actual.
cut one of the 3 level 8s and drop them down to 2.
So cut that down to 2, and then we're at a solid 40 cards. But again, we need to figure out what extra deck spaces we're going to cut, because we need to fit in Dragoon, we need to fit in Construct, and I would say we should
Why are
probably
you playing?
fit in Omega. Why are we
This
playing
deck
what,
has got
Tom?
loads of recyclability and stuff. Why are we playing to the? Has this deck got good like recyclable? Like if something goes to grave, can you recycle it back to the deck or to the hand? Or can you? Has it got good like?
Oh yeah, that's a good
recursion?
question. Yeah, does this
Yeah.
deck have extra deck recovery?
That's the
I mean,
Omega.
just
That's
recovery in
why
general,
I'm
like,
that's
how
why
good
we
is-
play Omega. because we keep dumping
Yeah,
stuff with
so
Dragma
it's a
and then
deck-
we Omega it back.
Yeah, so if you can do that, then there's
Take
and you're only playing
get
like
rid of
double.
get rid of Secure Gardener and then swap it with Omega.
Yeah.
'cause
No,
the thing
I'm just talking
The
about
thing is
the
with
main
getting
deck.
rid of Secure Gardener,
Like,
and I'm
main
going to
deck
say
mo-
this now. We go into Almirage,
I wouldn't get rid
then
of
we go
Secure.
into Gardener, and
Yeah.
then we go into Mechaba. That is literally a one card Mechaba.
Yeah, I
And
wouldn't cut.
that's also good. That's also good if you're stuck on just a normal
I would
summon.
cut a max. I cut a Maximus. I mean, I don't know why you do with it.
Yeah, I cut it down to 1.
Maximus.
Do you want to draw two? Do you want to draw two Maximus in your hand? Or,
The thing with
like,
Maximus is
do
you
you
kind of
draw
want to
any
see it
opening
turn
hand?
1.
I don't know about you guys.
Like, you want to see it turn 1 so you can
But
guarantee
do you want to draw it?
If you draw it, it's even better because then you can add
And if
Knight
it dies,
instead.
can you?
If it dies,
Yeah,
you
if it
can bring
dies,
it
can you
back because of Omega.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Then you only need one of.
Yeah, but the thing is, you want to be able to get it to your hand turn 1, and if you do draw it, then you can summon the Knight to the. You can search the Knight, or you can search the trap.
I don't agree in cutting it. No, I don't agree in cutting it. I think 2 is a good number. You do want to see that card in your opening hand.
If you want to play them, if it's the opening hand, then.
No.
But if you don't want to see it, then why? I don't see how playing 2 of it help.
Because
You don't want to open on 2.
Because you can.
It's like
you
you know,
play
it's a
2 to
classic
open
of-
1.
Yeah, I play. On this occasion, I agree with Tom.
sometimes,
Maximus
but
on 1.
Tom, meet me in the
Yeah.
middle. Tom, meet me in the middle. 2 or
No,
none.
the middle. No, I'm not meeting the middle because the middle doesn't work. I'm
No,
for
one.
two of hand traps, but not for 2 of big boss guys.
The
If
thing-
you want to open it, play free. If you don't, as my rules are, if you want to open it, play free. If you don't want to see 3 of it or play,
the
or
thing
see
with
multiples
this card,
of it,
Tom,
just play 1.
Tom, I'm
Yeah.
going to tell you now. The thing with this
Yeah.
card is, you
Yeah.
want to see it turn 1, but you also have the option to search it turn 1. If you
So
play
why don't
one of it and it gets
why don't we
banished.
leave it at 2? Test hand
Yeah.
at 2 and see how you get on with it.
Okay, so we're up 40 cards, but honestly, right now we
Do
do
you
need to
lose?
cut extra stuff. So what I'm going to
No.
say is, I would say we
Then
cut a Mechaba, we cut an VFD, we put in Dragoons, we put in Omega, and because we're not playing Super Poly, we can just cut the Starving Venom, and that would probably give us that. So I'm going to make sure I actually did that first. So looking at what we've got,
You forgot to put a construct.
yeah, we got the construct back in. So now this is the deck we're looking at. So let's go ahead and do a couple of test hands and see what we can do. So first hand we have I think everything. So we can literally go we can go Magical Meltdown, search in Alistair.
Yeah, that's a good play.
Then we can normal summon the Alistair. Now we're not going to get to go ahead and make the Dragoons, but that's pretty much fine with this hand. I don't really see any issues with that. Does anyone else?
No.
So we go straight into the We go straight into the Secure Gardener, and then we just go ahead and use the Invocation. Summon out Mechaba by banishing the Alistair and the Secure. Summon out the Omega. Like, this is what I'm saying with the VFD. You can't always do it in this deck, which is like my issue with it, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
VFD.
That's why I said it was
Wait,
situational. That's why I said it was situational.
Hey, James,
Yeah.
I don't hear them at all. I haven't heard them
Now,
say anything for the last.
We can
Think
use
half hour.
Nadir.
I don't have anything to say.
Sweetie, the reason why we haven't said anything is because we can't get a word in edgeways.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
so
blame
we use
Tom
Nadir,
on that
send Asian. Send Asian, and then we
I'm
just go
catching
ahead
up.
and search Saint. And then we can literally just go summon Saint. Saint will trigger. And and this is where I would say we just add Maximus. Because Maximus would just and then we just summon Maximus by banishing the Almirage. This is the thing with Maximus. You can see it turn 1, but if you don't, it doesn't matter. Now, we can't obviously do the banish 2, send 2 from extra deck, but what you would do here, in my opinion, what you would probably do here is you would send the Apollocon to be able to get to the Shadow Rook, and you would also send to grave potentially like a dark monster, so maybe the Madness Evoker, so you can get into the Shadow, so you can get into the window. But obviously we can't because our opponent doesn't have extra deck. Yeah. So like we can end with literally this turn 1 board. We get to end on Mechaba, we get to end on a Shadow Winder, and we got an Effect Veiler, a Negate, and a Cooled By. This is actually insane.
So basically, what then happens
that's
is
pretty good.
your opponent will draw a card, set 1 pass, and then surrender.
Yeah. Seems about right.
Basically, what
But,
the
okay.
deck. They can't go anywhere from with a wind and a mecha born board and then everything else. They're literally not going to be able to do anything other than set up a card and pass.
Yeah, Eldritch is very good at that strategy. I mean,
Sorry.
Yes.
watch me just set 5 cards and pass. Yeah.
I set 5 hand traps down,
boy.
and then what do you do?
So,
But then, even if they do
but
that, we can just make Dragoon on our next turn, so it's fine.
yeah. One thing as well, which this is which why do you remember? I don't remember, but you've seen the Disciples SDK build.
Oh yeah, the software. Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah,
I saw it. I didn't watch it.
I
I seen the comment. I never got a chance.
Have you just seen the deck list? Like just the 60.
No, literally, the only reason I saw it was on my way home, and I was driving, so I couldn't actually open it, watch it, or see anything. So I would rather you explain it if you can.
Because they made a very good point, and the reason why they bumped up to 60 is the reason why they did that. They could justify playing more one-off cards by playing more cards, so you're less likely to open. But the consistency didn't really change.
And they have the option to play those cards.
They had the program, yeah, but they used the program to quickly determine the likelihood of opening X. So the more cards they threw in, the less likely you are open. Like say in this hand, Magician. So if you played a couple more cards and kept the consistency up, and the deck could still do the same thing. Because looking at this deck, I mean, it looks like as long as you get to like Alistair, as long as you get to a few other key cards, like you can pop off, and you don't need.
Oh, that's something as well. We should probably
lots of other mini engine. So so you could play more cards, but playing more cards will less likely to draw into Dark Magician and Red Eyes B Dragon, and more likely to draw into like engine cards. So you're less likely to open. So in this hand, I'd rather not open Dark Magician at ever, but I expect it to happen because you're playing it. But playing slightly more cards while keeping the consistency of the deck still consistent, it's still okay. Like it's not a problem going over 40.
Well,
There's no problem going over 40 and your deck is still.
Yeah, actually, you got a point.
And you're playing
Yeah, we're not playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Of a couple of years ago where you need to play 40 cards. There's so much more variety. It's a very open ban list now. Going over 40 is not that bad.
But you also want to try and keep consistency as well. If you're playing like 50-51 cards, you're not going to see the ones you need.
Yeah, but but you're less likely to open multiple.
A hand like this actually does say you can't.
Thing is, if you go, I wouldn't go up to like 6. Yeah, but what I'm saying is
playable.
You could play like this hand is actually but going first. You just saw your hand traps.
This hand is literally activate Nadir, send to grave. Where is it? Apolokun.
I'll be honest with you, this stream is lagging for me, so I don't see what Rob is actually doing right now.
Oh no! Summon
That's what happens when you use 4G
add
internet.
Rook. And then you can literally just send. Oh wait, no. Slight misplay on my part. What I should have done first is summon Oracle into Almirage, and then done the Nadir. But the point still stands. We can literally just go wherever we want from here.
Robert, you're a judge. You're not meant to misplay. You can't make mistakes.
I misplay. I'm human, damn it. But legit, you can.
Are you?
Supposedly.
Debatable.
This hand is garbage.
So
this hand is fully playable. Literally, the 2 cards you need to play the game, and you even have Saint. This hand. This hand is insane.
We got a few minutes. Go play against someone.
This hand is insane. Yeah, we can play. We can take this.
Because you know what? Hand testing is great and all, but we're not considering the fact what would the opponent do.
All right, let's go into a game then. Let's just go into a random lobby, and we'll see what we can do. So we'll go into this one. Hungry.
Listen, if he's playing Claudian or whatever it is, just quit. Don't even waste our time.
Okay, so we lost the dice roll, but we've opened.
Okay.
We've opened Imperm. Oh, and he made us go first. So this hand is.
See, you've opened up.
Oh no, Tom is right.
It's mainly the.
You see my point?
Yeah, it's mainly the fact you can't really do anything else. Like, actually, no. The fact that we opened Dark Magician is actually good here, Tom. And I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you why it's good here. So we go ahead.
Please,
gonna
please,
go
please,
ahead
please. I hope
If you're saying
I hope the
search
combo
this.
messes up. I hope he messes.
No, I'm not gonna
I
screw it
hope your
this time.
opponent messes up the combo so you can't show us
We're
why.
gonna do this. We go ahead and add Rook,
Yeah.
No.
and we send to grave Dark Magician. Now we're gonna go ahead and normal summon Saint. Search for Saint. We can search.
You're gonna
literally-
fuse with it. It could have been any monster.
No, you're gonna. I'm gonna. No, it needs to be a dark monster. Dark Magician is dark, and we play majority lights.
Yeah. I mean, it could exactly, but it could have been any dark. You didn't have to.
But we
The
don't
Dark
play
Magician's
a lot
the
of
only
dark
dark monster we
Maybe
have.
something useful in the grave. I don't know.
What?
It could have been another Alistair. It could
We
have.
need. If we had
Something
Alistair,
else,
we
it could've
wouldn't care. It's the fact that we have a dark Alistair that it matters. That Dark Magician that this matters. So literally now we just wait for him to attempt to special summon once, and then we just flip the Rook.
Yeah.
Literally.
Here comes Lightning Storm.
Oh, it doesn't matter if we get Lightning Storm Lee, because then we still make the card. What is our
Things so
opponent even playing?
stupid. Look
What's
But the
Hungry
thing
Ape
I'm saying
playing?
is,
What's Hungry Ape playing? Oh, he gave us those 1,000
Wait, hold on.
around.
the one point
The fuck?
I forgot to mention in our.
What was that? Sorry. Oh, you played Pot of Desires.
I'm starting to desires.
Man's playing Sky Striker. We already lost.
Oh.
It's fine. It's fine. You know why?
that?
Because of the first time they attempt to special summon, we're gonna flip the Rook. There's the Ray. So we're gonna flip the Rook.
Sky Striker being hit now.
They've lost all their engages and they have 2 Widow Anchor. I think it's fine. They will literally just make Winder, and then we're gonna kill him because we have punishment. It's fine. It's fine. This is actually fine. We don't care. He can attempt to special summon, but then we just look at him and punish him. But if he has Widow Anchor, then we cry inside.
Dear God, please make the opponent have Widow Anchor just to humiliate Rob on stream.
Yeah, go on. Widow Anchor.
Here we go. Oh, it's gonna happen.
It's a Sky Striker deck. Of course, he has Widow Anchor. They always have Widow Anchor. Even if they don't have Widow Anchor, they have Widow Anchor.
Oh, he's going to the end
Even
of
if the card Widow Anchor is not in the deck, they
I'm
have Widow
gonna
Anchor.
I'm gonna kill both his multi-roll and his
Even
Hayate.
his band.
I'm gonna kill his Hayate and his
Widow Wanker
multi-roll.
with his band. Widow Wanker.
Even if Widow
He had
Widow
the
Anchor
Widow
never existed, they still
Anchor!
have it. I told you.
Yeah.
See?
Told
So
you.
what?
Widow
He's losing the
Anchor.
multi-roll. He's losing the multi-roll. It's fine.
So do we cry now or after?
No, we're fine.
At what point do we cry?
We're still fine. 'Cause you know
I think
what?
Rob's
We
already crying.
Yeah,
kill the-
No.
We kill the multi-roll
kill-
and we can literally stop his Kagari.
Actually,
And
that was
he's-
actually nice. Actually, it didn't do anything to us really. It didn't really do anything.
Like, the biggest problem we have here is legit. He tries to play the game in a way that we can't play against him. Like, we can't attack directly with Winder right now, though, which is kind of sucks. If he targets the Winder, it means nothing. I can't attack directly with it.
He's gonna target the window.
He has to target the
Missed it my main phase
Yeah,
too.
but what if he drops my...
It's
If he
easy,
drop-
it's easy to play
If he
around.
drops mine, then it just sucks, doesn't it?
You are mine.
Well, I mean, it's Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro. Of course, he has mine.
Oh, he just surrendered.
Just
He literally just left.
Of course, he left. He fucked up the combo.
No, he didn't. He did nothing wrong.
hey.
But yeah,
No,
like, that was just one hand. So it's like, okay. But like, you see, we can see what the deck can do. Like,
not really.
this is
Not really. The
Dragoon.
opponent left.
Not really.
No, but we saw. What the deck
I saw.
turn
I
one
saw
can
your
do.
opponent.
We've seen what the deck can do.
Again,
turn
you went.
one.
You went into hand test. Again, you went into hand test. So I don't know what the deck can do.
I mean, we're going into hand test now because we're literally just making
No,
Dragoon
but
and
after-
seeing what hands we can get.
No, but the thing is, I want to see what it can do when it is stopped. I want to see where it can go from when it's stopped, because the theory is we built this deck around the idea that it will be stopped and can carry on.
All right, let me get it back.
That
up.
was
So we're gonna go into. Let's go up against this guy. Floydy.
what is it? Is it Crazy Ape again?
No, it's Floydy. So we get to go first this time. And this hand is
It's not
fine.
Floyd. It's not Floyd High. It's Floydy.
I said Floydy.
Imagine playing that dead game.
Floyd A. It's got a silent HJ thingamajig.
Floydie.
No, Dungeon Defense.
Hey, guys, I don't use Discord that often. What does the
I've
deafen
already
button
finished
do?
it. Because I'm jealous. I've basically finished it.
Turns
It means no one. It means no one can hear you and you can't speak.
Okay, dude.
It means you're a mute.
So with this hand, we literally
In
just invoke.
September.
We just invoke.
Yeah, but
Oh, is that a one of I see in our hand again?
No,
Yes.
you're very mistaken, Cat.
I can serve a mute. I can serve a mute
Yeah.
and serve a deafen him anyway, so it's all good.
Awesome.
Just you,
What?
you've just drawn 3 hands drawing, and you've drawn
Why are you
like
saying awesome?
3 of
You
the
just say Among
It was
Us.
actually 4 hands.
For
It was
vanillas.
actually 4 hands. It's actually 4 hands because of the playtest as well. Oh, he actually.
You're
opened
not
up
gonna
a-
justify it.
10.
It's still a problem.
It's fine. It's a negate.
No, I'm trying to. I'm
Exactly,
trying to
so
prove your
the point
point.
I'm
I'm
trying
trying
to
to prove your
Wait,
point.
can
It's
everyone just
Garnet
listen?
all
It's really
over
important.
again. It's Garnet
No, you
all
don't.
over again.
9
No,
o'clock.
because
Adios.
But
because
I'm go-
Mechabot
I'm
is a
gonna- I'm-
negate.
I'm gonna.
He's playing Pendulum, boys. I didn't set the. You see, when people started talking,
gonna
I
explain,
didn't set the
like,
goddamn
It's
chord
like if you're playing 3 garnets, right?
I don't know what he's doing.
I'm happy to stay in a bit longer if you guys want to work a bit more on this.
I mean, I'm probably
I have
gonna
no-
call
I have-
it after this, so it's like. 'cause
Yeah, I have nothing to do anymore, so we started a little late. We might as well finish it on a round number.
What you say, isn't that from-
After
isn't
this
that
game,
from,
we'll see. We'll play this
Slide?
game out, and we'll see what
adding
happens.
nothing, so I'm probably gonna go now, guys.
What's
So
it
Mechabot's
from?
gonna
haven't
definitely negate the
taken.
spell power.
Is it?
So let's see what our opponent actually has. He has Upstart Goblin. That's fine.
Oh right, yeah.
So he's
With
upstart
the
goblin.
village and then the girl summons all the
Hello.
demons, right?
He's
Is there
got a
not time on the
blue
round
goblin.
yet? Shouldn't you win now?
Shh.
Time on the round.
But don't much judges say it's time really loud with an angry voice.
So he's gonna activate secrets.
God damn it! It's fucking
Is
it's
it
damn
on, like,
time.
PC?
It's about that time, old chap.
Play on Xbox.
Hello.
Game Pass.
I just had a
yeah,
really
Game
weird
Pass is
thought.
So fun to play, Harvey.
Go on. I'd like to hear your weird thought.
I can't. Yet.
Well-
It's like July the.
They're all spellcasters, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
So why don't we play Spellbook of Knowledge for draw power?
No.
Knowledge.
Um,
We both said it.
not too sure. It's an option, but again, we're already very
Isn't it-
tight on space.
I know, it's just another
Hey.
thought. I was just like thinking like that's a I know I keep going back to instant fusion, but it's just so free. And then you can use the knowledge to draw 2 cards. Ooh, there's my other key combo pieces.
Oh, we're getting nuked. That sucks.
Yeah, the fucking sweaty
Look,
bang up
you
Billy.
Yeah.
This guy's about to destroy both our
The other
Mechabot
day, I was-
and our
I saw some
Meltdown.
guy say, "Oh yeah,
quick.
I play old school RuneScape sometimes."
Robert, what?
And he
Quick,
had,
use
like,
the cool by the grave.
almost 2,000 total,
It
which
does
is
nothing in this situation.
Over 100 million XP.
If you said it earlier, it wouldn't have been a problem.
Joke.
No, it would be because it's Pendulum. They don't do Graveyard.
Pendulum.
No, 'cause he mainly plays.
To be honest, it's
RuneScape.
kinda better to keep it in the
There's two
hand.
versions of RuneScape. There's the older version. There's the new version. The
So
new version is kind of.
looking at what our
So
opponent
this
currently
deck build's
Yeah.
been working really well.
But the new version.
Um,
Is kind of
the idea that we
honestly-
should play Endymion again rather than this deck.
has.
No, I think this deck has got a lot of potential. We just need to work on the build a bit more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like we've gone through a lot of theory
got-
and we've gone
got a
through a
few
lot of
kinks.
testing. I think we've just got to figure out a little more things and kinks in it, and that now our hand's just fucking insane.
Yeah, okay, this is actually gonna be good. Actually, he's got nothing to do.
Like legit, all we do is this: we negate the first because this card negates the first thing, so we just banish the Endymion. He's forced to negate the called by, and this also negates the called by.
Is he stupid enough to do it though?
Yep. He does not control an extra deck monster. Can we make an extra deck monster? Because I don't think we can right now. So we're gonna have to try. We're gonna have to do it this way. We're gonna have to go ahead and normal summon the Saint.
You're gonna have to go through the Almirage way, aren't you?
No, because we can't go the Amirage way because we've already used the Amirage way. So we're gonna have to normal summon Saint.
Oh, is it? Yeah, you.
Saint is gonna have to search
Who's
for
that talking?
Maximus. That's my brother in the background. Sorry, people. And then we literally just go this, banish the Almirage. Sorry, the Mechabot.
Robert, can I tell you something?
What?
If you go into
Yeah.
Discord, if you go into the Discord settings, Robert, you can turn down the sensitivity of your mic, and then we don't have to hear your brother.
He's right behind me. I doubt
just-
we wouldn't be able to hear him, even if I did.
If you turn down the sensitivity,
Uh,
you can whisper into your mic, and then we can have an ASMR video as well at the same time.
shh. So we're gonna go ahead and send this, and we're also gonna go ahead and send Asian Dragon. And this way, we actually deal with the fact that this has a negate on board with this, and we can also force him to send cards from his extra deck to the graveyard.
If not, just bring some spirits.
So we'll go ahead and pop the Endymion in the Pendulum Zone, because then he can't special summon, obviously, and he can't actually get rid of the Maximus, and then we have ways to deal with that. And then all we can actually do now is just attack the Prophecy, but it's not like it matters because we're actually going to get a free resource at the end of our turn anyway. Because I sent to graveyard the Bastard Dragon, and then we just end, and then we get Bastard effect. And we should be searching another Saint here, because Saint would obviously give us, well, another search on our next turn. Plus, he can't get over the Maximus, which is really good. It would, like, as long as he doesn't open something really dumb, we should be good.
I think we need to play 42 cards in this deck.
Oh, wow! Guy draws Cerberus!
No.
Tom.
Yeah.
Because of the bricks, you want to have a 40-card deck plus the bricks.
But what I'm saying
that's
is,
what I'm saying. 42.
but what I'm saying is actually probably the deck has a major consistency problem because we haven't figured out Dragoon properly in this deck. We haven't thought about it. We just played. You just drawn 4 or 5 hands, and you haven't made Dragoon once, but you've drawn all the bricks.
We made Dragoon once.
Well, the idea is you make
But
the
you've drawn
idea is
bricks
that
more-
you summon 2 monsters, make Anaconda. Anaconda sends the Red Eyes Fusion, and then that's how you make Dragoon.
But what I'm seeing is you haven't. Rob hasn't needed to do that. It sounds like a plan B, and it's not. I don't think for a plan B, it's worth running bricks. Or the way to fix that would you'd want to play more.
It was Assassin's Creed, I think.
Probably more Red Eyes fusions or more ways to get to Red Eyes, because otherwise you just end up drawing more bricks.
I literally downloaded Halo 5
That's the way I
just to beat Harvey's friend.
Don't play
I
at
was
all.
trying to think whether you could actually just play a dragon monster. I was trying to think of a dragon monster
We
because
already played a
it
dragon
doesn't have
monster.
to be red.
We already played a Dragon Monster.
Is it?
It's
Yeah, I was
Phileas.
like, okay.
What level
like,
is-
yeah, go on then.
We already played Phileas, so we're already playing a dragon.
And then she just went off.
But yeah, we technically already do.
So we
What
don't
I'm
actually.
saying
So we
There's
don't
a few
actually
hands
need
and
the
you've
red
made-
eyes.
No,
I mean,
technically not.
that's what she gets for saying that Halo 5 is the best game. It's expected that she would lose.
So does that mean
Dragoon only.
However, I did tell you. I told you it was a dead thing. I told
They're
you-
all spellcasters, aren't they?
That was her favourite game.
Yeah, they're all spellcasters. Also, I'm going to say this now. Knight does not target. And I have not said that once during the whole video. Knight does not target.
Yeah.
oh, that's jokes.
No, but I bought it before,
Like
when it came out, pretty much.
Also, the grind game, from the looks of it, even though we were up against Pendulum and he did really end on a bad board because we just disrupted him, still.
No, I didn't pre-order it.
It's good.
I went to the shop and bought it.
Like,
And then I downloaded it.
as you can see, like, this deck, and also it has recurability, is pretty good too. If we're gonna Omega, we're gonna Omega.
See, this is why I ask you to play a live game to see actually what is its potential against something that can. There you go.
We win! Woo!
But
He cheated.
the only shut up. The only things that I would probably change, because we didn't actually put it in, is terraforming for the obvious
meltdowns.
Obvious meltdowns, and because if Dragoon doesn't actually need it, we could cut the red eyes and play with the one Phileas. That way we have literally less bricks in the deck. So that, like, this is the kind of build that I would say we're looking at. We've got multiple ways to actually get into Dragoons as well. Because of the only hand we need to open with to get to Dragoons is literally not this one, but it is. Alistar with Oracle. That is Dragoons. And if we can get it in a few hands, I'll show you how.
Wait, you did something wrong there.
What? If you're not
You didn't
seeing
open up a normal card.
Wait, we're talking about
Shut
the
up.
voice act? We're talking about the actual person.
There it is. Oh wow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is why I hate online shuffling. This is why I hate online shuffling, you know? Actually, does this look us up? No, so this is actually the same. So what we do, literally, this is Dragoons. So we go ahead and go in the Meltdown. Meltdown adds us an Alistar. Because Dragoon is actually quite easy to make in this deck when you really think about it. And I'm gonna do it right now just to prove it.
The movie, right?
So we go ahead and use the Alistar. Alistar adds Invocation. Go ahead and summon the Almirage. Then we go ahead and make the Secure Gardener. Actually, no, we shouldn't have made the Secure Gardener. We can't link it away. Robert made an oof. Robert made an oof. Because, like, the idea is to activate this, summon it, and then go into Anaconda. But because I made the Secure Gardener, I screwed up. We made...
So you admit you suck.
Oh no, I don't suck. I just made a mistake. Well, that was Dragoon anyway. This is actually the same thing. Because we just don't trigger her effect to search, which is a little sucky, but I'll show it off anyway. So we literally go Alistar. Don't screw it up this time, Robert. Go into Almirage.
Harvey, do you know what? I'm so annoyed.
Special summon Saint.
Who? Ask who?
Don't trigger her effects because that's what allows you to. That's what locks you out. Make the Anaconda. Then you go into the Invocation. Summon out this. Summon out the Mechaba. And then you just trigger Anaconda. Oh! Oh yeah, I forgot. Idio Pro has is slightly glitched. Because literally it doesn't let us.
4'6".
It doesn't let you use Shadow Fusion, I believe. Fusion on one fusion monster this realize monster from your extra, use a monster from your hand, field graveyard, and if you do, it becomes realized Black Dragon. Yeah, because nearly this is a dragon monster, Albus right here, and that's Dark Magician. But Anaconda doesn't. There's for some reason a glitch that doesn't allow you to use Red Eyes Fusion to make these cards into Dragoon. But that's basically the point. But nonetheless, I feel like this was a good video. We've gotten. I feel like we've analysed the deck quite a bit. Is there anything anyone wants to add before we actually close this off? Because we've been going for about 2 hours now.
Yeah, I just want to say one thing. From an NHS perspective, just want everyone to stay alert and keep safe. Make sure you're all taking care of yourselves. And a shout out to Konami for making a good, viable online game for everyone to play during the COVID. Oh wait, no, they didn't do that. Sorry.
Is there anything else? Anyone else?
No, don't.
What's with my
Tom,
computer?
any comments?
I know I do. I have like all of it, but I'm not reading it on their thing.
No?
Tom? Has Tom left?
I think his brother has a few.
He's dropped. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
Good video. This will be something good for people to watch, and obviously, as I've said before, everybody who watches this video, please check out the team pages, the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, the for YouTube, and the actual website. I'll have probably most of the links in the description below. This has turned out to be a really good video. We've gone quite deep into the deck, talking about multiple different strategies, and that'll probably be it. Thanks, Kat, for coming out, for talking. Thanks, Gen X, for talking. Thanks to everyone else who came, those who left. I feel like we did really good on this video, and yeah, we'll probably do more of these. They'll probably be on the team channel though, right, Kat? We're going to be doing more of these on the team channel.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
if you're interested in this kind of stuff, please check that out. This is like I might have more on this channel just so we can get more exposure for the other channel. But yeah, for now this is the one on my channel. But thank you very much everyone who came out to watch. Thank you everyone for listening. It was basically a podcast style. I know there was background noise and stuff, can't be really helped, and I know some people's voices may sound a little clicky. But yeah, thank you everyone who came out to watch. This is Robert1 signing out with Gen X and Kat. And we'll see you later. Bye all.
Peace out, guys.
Bye.